Vegeta, what does the scouter say about their subscriber count?
It's 9,010.
Wait, so you mean
Yes, Nappa. It's over.
it's over?
It's over 8,000!
What eight? Wait, what?
There is a story so strange in its implications that it defies ordinary classification.
I don't care if you've been sharing candy with hyenas all night. If you up, smash that like button. Welcome to Black and the Black Times. I'm your host. Cthulhu's Party coming to you live and direct from the stack. Smoke me out, fam, with that dang shit on my left. Stitch.
If I catch one of y'all hugging my murderer, I'm hunting y'all from beyond the grave.
Oh, God damn. I'm a far right engineering on the ones and twos. Talking about on the threes, of course, Panos.
It's me, the other brown guy.
Oh, last but not least, we got your boy Blue.
Japanese porn had the best storylines. First, you're sitting there having lunch with the family, your girl's family. Next thing, you're banging a mom and a daughter, and a dad's passed out drunk.
Don't forget the stepsister.
And stuff.
God damn. Old Ninja's en route. Hopefully he'll join us shortly. We up in this bitch. One more again.
That we are. First in the chat would be Warrior Fellow, once again joining the podcast. Appreciate it. Listener of the week would be Carla P. Medellin? Medellin? Sure, why not?
You got a country code for her?
Maybe Mexico, but I'm not really sure.
All right.
Actually, hold on, I can probably tell you.
I was going to say Cardi B, yes.
Want to find this person's address too? I'm just,
Yeah, exactly. Dox her.
It doesn't say.
No, it's all good. We appreciate you listening then.
That we do. All right, let's get this podcast started. The RIPs will have to wait.
Hell yeah.
There's only two, and I don't know. Well, actually, one of them I think I know.
I don't know either one of these folks.
Yeah, they don't sound really familiar.
Old Ninja digs up the most obscure RIPs. Half-ass D-list celebrities usually, but I love it. It's
The
awesome.
co-creator of the Intellivision died on Monday. Like, okay.
Every week he finds them, though. Every week he finds them. All right, where we want to go first then?
Should we start dank, or should we start kind
Whoa.
of fucked up? Or?
I looked up one other person. And Linda Porter is the actress known for Superstore. What?
Superstore. Okay, you know what? Well, let's wait on Old Ninja with this.
Superstore and Twin Peaks.
Oh, Twin Peaks I'm familiar with.
The
but-
restaurant?
No, Twin Peaks.
I'm thinking there's a Twin Peaks in San Francisco.
No, the show from the 90s, right? Twin
Is it like a
Peaks?
soap opera?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's like a
old
drama.
school. It's nothing that people on this podcast will watch.
No, it's kind of weird. I saw maybe one episode. Let's start jank first, and then we'll get into more serious.
All right.
There's a lot going on. Oh shit, Stitch. Why don't we start with number one? You and Spidey, right?
Well,
Who else saw this coming?
Everybody
did. Saw it coming.
Literally everybody.
I was about to give Prodigy a little bit of credit or whatever, saying that he did see that this was all pretty much just like negotiation posturing or whatever. I mean, everyone with a clear head saw that this was just negotiation tactics. I'm gonna take my ball and go home. Oh, we don't need y'all. Blah 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 blah. They supposedly talked it out like they was rumored going on behind
Did you lock
closed
the door?
doors.
Oh, I did.
Oh.
That might be why Old Ninja.
Old Ninja wants to come in, but we ain't letting him. Fuck him.
Little pig, let me in.
All right, keep going.
Hey, man, bad habit. Shit, I grew up in a ghetto.
But supposedly they worked out the deal, and none of us know the actual specifics. It's all sort of, I guess, what's rumored. But from what I had saw online last sort of legit source, it's that I guess Marvel's going to be getting a 25% share of the box office take
not
and
bad.
everything. So it's
Before they didn't get anything, right?
they're
got
getting
five.
five.
Okay,
Well,
but they got money off the toys. So.
Originally, they got 0. That's how they got fucked in the beginning. Like when they first started making Marvel movies, why they all sucked. They got 0.
Yeah. So then it went from 5 to, I guess, 25 now. The only thing that I'll question you on is you
Talking to me?
constantly retweet this clown on Twitter.
You always going at her. Why are you
Because
so
you
hostile?
are her Robin.
Who you talking about, Stitch?
I can't even look on my Twitter feed without. I'm not even going to say this clown's name because I don't want to give them clout or whatever. But
Wonder Gal. Shout out to her.
that clown just nonstop tweets out some trash opinions about how Sony won the negotiations and blah, 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 and Marvel bent the knee. And I'm like, how do you go from 5% to 25%. You get a 400% raise in profits, and you try to say that fucking Disney lost this whole thing? Like,
and here's the thing: we are speculating because I have no idea if this is legitimate. We have yet to see what Sony gained in terms of maybe Venom's going to be in the MCU movies. Maybe there's some additional crossovers in video game. I don't know what it is, but because in the absence of those details, all we can say is that Disney went from 5% to 25%. Maybe Sony's even getting some more of the merchandise, which is huge. And nobody puts a dollar figure on that merchandise. The merchandise rivals, if not surpasses, Batman merchandise. What is going on with the feedback?
Why does you gotta turn their volume down?
Volume down.
No, I was posting on Twitter a link to the thing, and it automatically started playing on its own.
Oh, okay.
Meet your own PC.
Yeah,
So,
Well, no, normally I do, but normally it doesn't play the video right when I post it.
no, with the merchandising, is it just on the so-called Spider-Man, or is it all of Marvel's property? Or that's still kind of.
I believe it's all of the Spidey backpacks, T-shirts, lunchboxes, the whole kit and caboodle Disney takes. But maybe, again, speculating, do not know for sure, this has not been released, maybe Sony takes a percentage of that equivalent to the box office hike that Sony went from 5 to 25%. Maybe 25% of the merchandise goes to Sony. I don't know.
Yeah, and we went through like a 24-hour sort of news leak information frame where supposedly it was rumored that Sony was putting together a Madam Web movie, and
What the fuck?
Exactly. Which I thought was fucking hilarious how they have Miles all set up, perfect, ready to go.
Yeah.
All these other characters like Silk,
Hoso,
Spider-Gwen,
Spider-Gwen.
all these other ones. We can go with Madam Web
So-
with our Spider-Man property now, and people were livid. And then in 24 hours, we got a deal.
I can see her. I can see them introducing her as like a character to introduce kind of the multiverse.
Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
That's
Spider-Verse.
exactly it.
Because that's what they did in like the animated series when they introduced her. She like brought all the Spider-Man from different universes together.
Look,
But her having a standalone movie,
we saw the animated movie of Into the Spider-Verse, and what they didn't get into in that movie, even though it was excellent, was any of the actual arachnid, almost mutant-like spider eaters, basically vampires. Morlun and his family using the Madam Web web of spiders, of spider realities, to hunt down all spider people. She can be, again, with the right writing, with the right, live action adaptation, she can be the key to the entire Spider-Verse. But it is an odd choice who is a character that most people don't even know from the comics. I get that.
That's where I think it would become difficult making that character into live action with the whole Spider-Verse, different universes and timelines and stuff, with her having it being animated like how they did Into the Spider-Verse. That worked well and was very excellent, especially how visually all the stuff they did visually with stuff glitching and going through different dimensions and stuff like that, and putting worlds on top of worlds. Live action, I was just like, that does not sound interesting to me. That sounds like a big, complete clusterfuck baloney mess or whatever. But they worked it out. More Tom Holland, the great Tom of
Here we go.
the actors.
Here we go.
And everyone's happy except for your girl trying to get clout with her cold takes on Twitter.
So here's the thing. This is basically the return to the status quo. Besides money, from two corporate giants shifting hands, right? I mean, we'll get a third Spider-Man movie of Tom Holland.
In the end, we win. You know what I mean? Everybody that's a comic fan, they win in the end. I mean, with all
I don't want him interacting with the Avengers. Fuck that.
I mean, he's gonna be the next Tony Stark, so
Oh God, here you
they
go.
kind of needed him.
Just imagine Deadpool versus Spider-Man. I mean, come on.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that sounds great. I'd love to see. I still want to see.
Actually, Deadpool's not even in the MCU either, is he?
Well, he is. I mean,
Well, he's part of Fox.
Disney owns him. Disney owns him now. So we'll see what they do with him. But yeah, I want to see Deadpool interacting with Spider-Man. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But I also want to see Spider-Man and Venom interacting too. So I don't know if we get that or we don't. We'll see.
So wait, is Venom Disney's property or is he Fox?
No, he's
Or
still
is it
Sony.
Okay.
He's still Sony's.
But Spider-Man is still Sony, so what do you mean by having them interact? Because they would interact either way because they're Sony.
something about this deal kept Tom Holland out of Venom, obviously.
Really?
The Tom Hardy Venom, because there was no Spider-Man in there.
Yeah.
So something with this Disney deal prevented him from being it, or Sony made some kind of very weird decision. It still worked out box office wise, but some weird decision to not have Spidey in the Venom origin movie. Am I getting that mixed up?
No, it sounds. I mean, for just sort of plain layman's terms, it was like Spider-Man was kind of leased out to Marvel, and there was a contractual agreement for his the property of Spider-Man.
So, all right. So the production company for Venom was Columbia Pictures. It wasn't.
That's Sony. That's Sony.
Is it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sony owns Columbia.
Oh, okay. I see it. Yeah, Sony Pictures releasing. That's really weird then. Why they didn't have.
Sony did
Spider-Man.
all two of the Spider-Man movies.
Yes.
It's just that Marvel just helped them, I guess.
Yeah, did the writing and
Feige produced it.
Yeah.
The Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah, and he'll produce this next one.
Yeah.
So
We're all happy.
happy is relative. But all right.
So,
Okay, so I'm trying to do research to find out how much money the Spider-Man toy line makes.
that's a tough one.
Yeah, it's really hard, but it seems like it falls in the 200 million range.
It's got to be more than that, I would think. Per
No, so-
month?
I have no
Well,
idea.
in a 12-month period. So within a year, apparently. Since this is the Amazing Spider-Man, so this is 2014 Spider-Man.
Yeah, I would say his popularity is taken off by leaps and
Yeah,
bolts.
this article's old. It's from 2017, so yeah, it's a little old.
So now that Old Ninja's here, maybe we'll rewind the tape back to these dead people. And if you can ID these people that are no longer with us.
Yeah,
so-
the
'cause
ones
we
that
have
nobody
no
cares
idea.
about. Go ahead.
No, I didn't really prep because I came late. Cause
Oh, well, then
there's
fuck
a
them
bunch
dead
of-
people.
They no
yeah,
longer
fuck
care.
them.
No,
kids.
that's not Nymphomaniac.
We can get back.
Necrophilia.
Necrophilia.
Oh my god.
Couldn't remember.
First off, fuck the Oathbreaker talking your shit. I can hear you. Forget that you're black and loud, so I can hear you outside.
How you gonna hate from outside the club?
Can't get in.
I know, the door's locked and shit.
Yeah, it was locked. I had to bust my way in. I stuck in the club. Nigga.
Yeah. So,
Give me a second.
Slap her in the ass, you want some crack.
did you got any? Are you happy about Spidey MCU? What do you think?
I just like watching you squirm over there about Tom Hardy and Spider-Man coming back, and this whole
Just sitting here.
yeah, you sitting there squirming, talking shit, talking about Sony gave us great Spider-Man films. #Venom. I'm like, Spider-Man's not even in that film. And you're like, well, but it's a Spider-Man film. I'm like, okay, sure. And you know what? It's like Corona said. It's good for the fans. This whole controversy is just generating ticket sales already. Everyone can't wait for him to come back because they want to see what happens. Does he get written out of the MCU? Does this open up Spidey and and Sony crossing over into this like Venom and Spidey universe type thing? Does it cross with Morbius' stuff, which is coming out? There's a whole lot of questions. So people are going to want to see this to find out what happens.
I already know what's gonna happen. They're gonna have Dr. Octopus or Goblin be a Tony Stark villain. That's what they're gonna
Oh,
do.
this guy. Here he goes
I
again.
mean, come on now.
Yeah, you had no problem with Oscorp creating the Sinister Six in the first three.
Oscorp
first
has
three.
been deeply integrated into Spider-Man lore since the 60s. If you don't get out of here with your
No,
fake shit.
creating
But yet
them.
they created the Sinister
Created,
Six,
yeah.
like in the Oscorp having every single one of the Sinister Six suits and their basement. You're okay with that?
Oscorp is extremely, I'll
Look
say
at-
it again,
look at him hopscotching, double
extremely
ditching.
important
Moving.
in Spider-Man
didn't
lore.
know
That's
you were
not
so
what.
good at
That's
double
not,
dutching.
that's not what we said. Now you moving goalposts. Are you cool with Oscorp creating the Sinister
Let
Six?
me say it in Spanish. See,
Ah,
Uh-huh.
fuck out of here.
Whatever fits your narrative, right?
yeah, whatever
No, I'm an
gives you
Oscorp.
your win.
I'm something of a scientist myself. Fuck
Uh,
Wow.
Speaking of false narratives or whatever,
All geniuses are messy.
what, your movie that you your most recent boat that you've hitched on. And,
Which one is that?
The Joker, the SS Titanic Joker that you are captain of.
What are you saying? What are you saying, Stitch? Speak with your chest. What are you saying?
This is the movie that you've been all over Twitter. Claiming it's going to win Oscars and it's going to break and smash all kinds of records. It releases on Friday.
Thursday, but go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, Thursday. What are you feeling about this movie? You still
Yeah, I feel very confident.
Taking
It looks like it's going to be one of the highest grossing rated R movies of all time. Wow. I think, yeah. Behind, what was it, Passion of the Christ and Deadpool. Somewhere in that ballpark, it's going to end up in there. I think it's going to be wildly successful.
Okay. Oh, I don't know the numbers on what those movies.
About
did when-
700 for Deadpool 1 on a $50 million budget, which is exceptional. And then Passion of the Christ is somewhere in the 640 million.
But I think even people who saw it before were saying that this was going to be Oscar worthy, apparently, because they were saying like Joaquin Phoenix does a really good job of portraying the Joker, which I think it's interesting. At first, when I first saw the trailer, I thought this was going to be boo-boo garbage, but the last few trailers that came out really piqued my interest. So I'm interested in watching it. Probably not this weekend, but I'm going to watch it.
I've heard a lot of people say that the people that have given it like lots of praise I've heard nothing negative about his acting as the Joker. Where I've heard a little bit of pushback is the actual story that is being told, like the actual movie itself. The only thing I can really reference it to myself is being like an X-Men fan. I think that it slips my head. The guy that plays Magneto, Fassbender does a excellent job of playing Magneto. However, those movies and the plots behind them have just been like a disservice to what he's poured into the character and everything.
Yeah, but Fassbender was never the lead in any of the X-Men movies, just to be fair. You know what I mean?
That is,
It was never top billing. We've done this before with the top billing thing. We know that Joaquin Phoenix is top billing for this movie. Fassbender is not the equivalent for any of the X-Men movies, right?
I mean, are we going by just like name value, or are we just going by like who's got the best acting chops?
Top billing. Like we always do this.
You always do this.
Top billing means you were the first actor listed as X-Men Dark Phoenix. First actor listed.
So
it's not Fassbender.
Who are we
It
giving
never
that to? Who? Okay, for what was the last one that came out? Dark. Who?
I thought it would be your girl Sophie, right? Sophie Turner.
She's the plot sort of revolves around her.
Yeah, she's the main. She is Phoenix, right? Dark Phoenix.
Doesn't mean she's a. I mean, okay, I guess or whatever. I mean,
But it ain't Fassbender. That's all I'm saying. Like, right? Am I tripping on this?
Well, I mean, okay, first class. I mean, unless you want to argue Jennifer Lawrence is the top billing actress in these movies, which is kind of questionable at best. I mean, I think him and
James McAvoy
are the two top billing actors. I mean, they're the two names I always see on the post. Or maybe I'm wrong, but those were the two that I would always see and notice on the posters and have the best acting chops. I mean, in terms of what they've done, but I forget my whole point because I totally got sidetracked.
Side rail.
Oh, be the actual story itself or whatever. What are you expecting or hoping to see from the actual story?
I have no. I want to be surprised. I don't know what the story is going to be other than it's going to have Joker in it and what's her name from Deadpool 2.
So what would disappoint you and what would make you? What are you?
A boring story. I mean,
what do you want to see? Do you want to see like character development of him going into
becoming the Joker, becoming something that's terrifying and intriguing on screen. I don't go in with any more expectations than that per se. I don't know what you want me to say.
Oh, there's no correct answer. I'll transition to the Batman expert. Blue.
Yeah.
What
do you want?
What is it that you would like to see from the movie? Do you like in terms of the Joker movie? What would it be positive for you, and what would kind of rub you the wrong way?
For this, this is like the Joker's origin story. I want to see what made, because with the Joker, he always talks about how, at least with the Killing Joke, he talks about how like everybody has that one bad day, and it was his one bad day that converted him to become the Joker, basically. And I want to see how they're gonna portray that, because I mean the trailer showed him getting beat up and making fun of, and like, you know, Robert De Niro's character makes fun of him on this TV show and this and that. But I want to see like what really pushes him over to make him go from like some innocent guy who's taking care of his mom to being some psycho who's gonna fucking like try to destroy the whole entire world. Okay. So my whole thing is seeing what breaks him. That takes a man, breaks him, and makes him to a mass murderer or whatever, basically. Or even make him cynical, where he's like cracking up jokes and still stabbing somebody in the throat.
Now, do you want that to be like something like not realistic, but something that like makes sense on terms of like how someone could maybe lose their edge, or if it was just something like, oh, he was picked on and bullied and laughed at, and he all of a sudden he decided to go crazy? Would you think that's just a little bit far-fetched?
I think if it's too based off of reality, I think it might take me away, because it's like, you know, somebody can take this and be like, oh, I'm gonna do this because the Joker did it. I've been bullied on this and that too.
Not
So
for any movie though.
yeah, but you get that from any movie, but I don't want somebody to use that as an scapegoat or use that as their reasoning for doing this. You know what I mean?
Carlos, get in here. What you got?
Sorry, I'm having a back and forth with somebody in Portuguese.
Uh-oh.
Eating
Oh,
up all my
shit.
time.
You trying to translate and Google and shit?
Yeah. I'm like trying to help this person out.
Giving them tips on games or something?
So what I'm worried about is because the vast majority of these reviews have been from like film festivals and like critics, and I think that film festivals and critics usually don't do a good job when it comes to anything comic book related. Anytime you have a decent comic book film out there, I always shit on it. So I'm really worried about that they made this film to make it seem like it's something way more serious than it actually is, and it's going to be a shitty movie that's going to be like way too overacted, and they're going to take itself way too seriously when it's a movie about a guy who doesn't take anything fucking seriously. So that's what I'm worried about, because I've seen like all those reviews, and I'm just like, oh yeah, and they're like these fucking super long people that go to like
Fucking
film
essays
school
and
and
shit.
shit. I'm just like, yeah, somebody that'll explain to you like how this like is like Taxi Driver or some shit, or like some fucking super complicated film that I don't really give a shit about, that's overindulged, and that's what I don't want to see. That's why I'm actually not interested in seeing the Joker because of that, because what all these critics and stuff are kind of equating it to. So, and it does seem like everything that I saw in the previews, I mean, it was interesting, like the cuts and stuff, but I don't see him doing Joker shit. I don't see him doing anything Joker-like. I see him putting on a fucking mask. I see him putting on, makeup. I mean, I could be totally wrong, And they have another actor in there, Robert De Niro, who's like a pretty serious actor. He doesn't. I mean, it just seems like it's going to be like a way too serious film. Like it should have some actual jokes in there, and I just didn't get that feeling from the previews. That's just me.
All right. Old Ninja, what you got?
Just watching the trailers alone, I felt like this might be an interpretation of the Killing Joke, like the first half of it before he goes crazy. Because it does look like he may have a family. I don't know. Is he taking care of his mom, or is he married? Does he find a girlfriend? And then is that all ripped away from him? And then all of a sudden he just can't deal? It looks like the current trailer looks like there's some anarchy that ensues. It looks like, riots and shit happen. So I'm wondering how he goes from trying to be a comic or a clown and then raising Gotham up to like turn on itself. Will it seem like an interesting and entertaining way in this film? I'll find out tomorrow.
Nice.
So
To be continued, same bad time, same bad channel.
yeah, I guess so. But
And are you even seeing this Stitch, or are you just shitting on it and
I have
saying
no desire to see it.
Okay.
I just think it's hilarious that it's being portrayed as this like fucking amazing
Monumental
fucking
film.
yeah, and I'm just like, slow your roll. I don't see anything that perceives that, and they're like, I mean, literally the first thing we got an 8-minute standing ovation at the Cannes music. I mean, fucking
Venice.
film, whatever the fuck it is or whatever. And anybody that's watched the show Entourage knows that they fucking it's just a big dick stroking contest at these fucking film reviews and stuff like that.
Circle jerk.
Yeah, they just all stand up and they get the director and everybody there. Oh, this was a great masterpiece. Can you tell me what? And just like, shut the fuck up. Like, none of those people.
They don't fucking matter.
I don't want to say none of those people are like
They
comic
don't.
book fans
No,
or whatever,
I know.
but I don't think that they represent the true blues out there that are Batman fans and Joker experts and stuff like that in terms of how this is going to be perceived and like.
I'm ready.
I'm predicting 80 million opening weekend domestic.
That's a really high number, a solid number.
You were saying over 100.
That's not that difference between 80 million and 100
Oh.
isn't that much. I mean,
Well, the budget for this movie is $55 million, so
yeah, that's
Oh,
a great
okay.
that's a great opening
Yeah.
domestic week again for a rated R movie.
What I mean,
what did
okay,
Logan
but
do?
say-
Logan probably did 100 million its first
No,
weekend.
Logan did 90, I believe.
Its first weekend?
I think.
It might have been a little. I'm thinking a little bit more.
And then I don't know what it did.
Oh,
It
it did
did
a lot.
well.
It
It did well.
did like
It
125
was
or some shit
I think
like that.
it has the record, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
The
very,
first one.
it very well just might.
Yeah, but I'll say this. I know you always focus on opening weekend numbers. Sometimes movies have like legs and continue
Well,
to go from there on. I know you're focused on just
Yeah.
opening weekend, we're not that far off. If you're saying 80 million, that's a very successful opening weekend.
So Logan did 88 million opening weekend.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that
Almost 90.
that tells you right there that that would be one of the most successful rated R movies
We're talking about a Batman property, however.
So?
compared to Hugh Jackman's last ride as
if we're
Wolverine.
talking about it's a comic, well, are we calling it a comic book movie or we're not calling it? Because the director seems to be confused about that. Is this comic movie character?
Let me say this definitively: Joker is a DC Comics character.
This will rank. Well, regardless, this will rank on the bottom half of opening weekends for comic book movies. Then
For all comic book movies.
I'd have to.
Yeah.
So find out how far back we're going.
Yeah. That'd be a no.
So It Too did 91 million
Oh, there you go.
opening weekend.
Okay.
Oh, what part 1 though? Part 1 was
Right.
the
Well,
number
for,
1.
well, for
I'm
comic,
trying to get to 1, but it's such a common word.
yeah, comic book movies past
It's just say it chapter 1.
post Iron Man comic book movies. How about that?
So in the MCU era. Okay.
Yeah, okay. We'll go MCU era. It will finish on the bottom half of opening weekend
Okay.
for domestic.
we'll
And
see.
like Cronus and I have talked about before, the universal thing, it depends on, it's a much calculated formula in terms of how many theaters are being released, what countries, et cetera, and I just stick with America or whatever, just to keep it simple.
So,
My
I mean,
predictions.
It's always about America, right?
yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, I think that's a kind of a shot to the foot there because there's a lot of interest in this film, both good and bad. The people that kind of want it to fail,
Oh, wow.
they're probably still going to see it just to see if it's really as bad. They may come away surprised.
Well, then
There-
there's also the I guess the I can't think of the word, like the black mark that's coming around with the Joker, with the whole, everybody thinking that somebody's going to shoot at the theater, so
Yeah,
it might
there's,
not do that.
There's
well the first
actually
week.
there's actually legit like people scared to go see this
Yeah.
because of backlash of this. There's actually theaters getting ready for potential violence of this film, and I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I know the Colorado theater, the Aurora theater, there will not be showing the Joker due to potential like craziness.
Due to
That-
crazy, irrational
Well,
fear.
Yeah,
That's,
but I mean,
I have no issue with them doing that.
I don't
Whatever.
either, 'cause
That's
there-
something that
there
affected
could be
that
a
community. Well,
there could be a copycat that rolls out.
I don't even think it's about that. I think it's just a matter of just sensitivity with that area. That tragedy affected that area that no one else in America can really, I guess,
I was gonna ask the same thing, bro.
what? Oh,
Tell us all what's going on.
we'll get back to that. We'll
get
put a
back
pin
to
for
that.
that. But
The first It movie made 123 million, and that's the
great.
number 1 grossing R-rated movie. And It 2 is number 3. Exorcist is 2 on here on the list.
Oh, these are horror
Exorcist.
movies. Okay.
But yeah, for
Rated R.
Rated R.
Oh,
Yeah,
Get Out's on there. Wow.
Get Out's
Nice.
fourth.
And then us.
Yeah.
yeah, but I think that tragedy affected that area, specifically that theater and everything. So if they are just like, you know what, we'll take the, because essentially it's that companies, whoever it is, whoever, whatever
there's
movie
Century-
company.
It's a Century Theater.
Yeah, if they're deciding, you know what, we'll just take the loss and we respect the feelings of the community. We understand what happened here. If they are fine with just saying, you know what, we just don't feel comfortable because we know what happened here and we just want to give a pass on this, that's their decision and everything. And it seems like everyone in that community is, I mean, that's something that I don't feel we should be commenting on. If the people in that community,
I'm
in
gonna
that city,
I'll comment on it right now.
I'm not going to lessen their tragedy by saying y'all need to show it when the majority of people in that community, they understand it.
No, I'm not trying to lessen their tragedy either. But while they're focusing on just this one film, seems kind of silly. Did they stop Rambo from fucking happening?
Nope.
No. Did they do any other sort of movie that had extreme amounts of violence in it? Did they ban those?
John
No.
Wick 3.
Those all have mass shootings in it by one fucking person. I mean, this shit it's fucking ridiculous to me. I mean, don't get me wrong. Listen, if it's that tragic to you, then just don't go watch the fucking movie. It's as simple as that. You shouldn't have to demand that an entire, like community or place doesn't show a movie because it makes you feel bad. Like, and I get that it's something that tragically happened, but tragedies happen every fucking day. The world does not need to bend to your will. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't want to see something, just don't go watch it. It's really as simple as that.
I don't think, from my understanding, no one like sort of banned it. They didn't make like a hard stand. It just
Well,
said,
they're already talking about it.
It just said out of respect, we won't show. And it seemed like it was agreed upon both sides that
Who are the both sides again?
the community of Aurora, that city,
Just
and
don't
then
watch
the movie theater, if it's a Century Theater or whatever, they both agreed upon it. And I don't see anyone arguing against that.
It's fucking silly to me because first of all, none of these people have ever even seen the movie, so they don't know what the fuck's in it. They're just doing it because of something that happened back in the day where this character wasn't even in the fucking movie.
Which I said last week. Again, for those who didn't hear it, Bane was in Dark Knight Rises. There was no Joker in Dark Knight Rises. And then we had Joker, for better or worse, in Suicide Squad. No issues. In '89, we had Jack Nicholson playing Batman.
To me, it'd be like if you ban all World War I and II movies from being shown in Europe.
Yeah.
That's literally a 1-to-1 ratio there.
Well, I would have to remember
how
correctly,
bad World War I and II was.
I'm talking about. I remember. I know for a fact they pushed back the release of several 9/11-esque movies, and that happened shortly after 9/11 and stuff involving like the Twin Towers and
Well, like
stuff.
Spider-Man 2, they did that because they had the poster. They edited out the
But
World
they
Trade
showed
Center.
the movie in New York.
Yeah, but they didn't have the World Trade Centers in it or
Well,
towers
that's
in it, I
just
think.
taking out something that was
In the movie.
yeah, but now it's out because I can sort of understand like editing it, like because it's not physically doesn't exist anymore. You know what I mean? But beyond that, just show the fucking movie. You know, same thing happened with George Carlin. There's a tape that recording that he did on the 10th of September that he talked about some shit and it never got released. I'm just like,
Things happen.
dude, just release it.
But
I wish
will
I could think of the song, but they censor out Biggie's
Oh,
lyrics.
Biggies, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, they don't do it anymore.
Blow up
now.
like the World Trade.
Yeah,
And he
they
was
used
talking
to.
about
Blown
the
up.
first World Trade
Yeah.
bombing
Yeah.
in the early 90s.
Yeah, I can't think of the song off the top of my head.
He wasn't alive for the second one.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
exactly.
So wait, kind of jumping back in. So the top 5 R-rated movies grossing, the first 2 are Deadpool movies.
Yeah.
Deadpool 1 and 2, they did the first one did 132 million, the second one did 125.
Opening weekend, right?
Yeah, opening weekend.
Yeah.
It did 123 million. Matrix Reloaded did 91 million, fourth place, and then It 2 is 91 million for opening weekend.
But also
All
on that
R-rated.
list, though, even though I don't agree with this guy and I don't agree with this movie per se, but Passion of the Christ was the highest grossing domestic rated R movie of all time.
Was in 10th place.
But not for opening
while,
weekend,
yeah, yeah.
but for the whole theatrical run.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, here's my thing. I mean, yes, I hear you, Stitch. On one hand, the community does have the right to voice their concerns at this one particular theater. It's silly to me from the outside looking in because it seems almost arbitrary given the fact that it's another Batman movie with the Joker in it, but
No
that has
Batman?
no relation to what John Holmes or whatever, this terrible piece of shit did in a Bane Batman movie. It's hard for me to kind of connect those dots. But if you're right, the community can say we don't want this shown, and you know that is what it is. I'm sure there are other theaters in the Denver greater area where people can see it, but it's odd. It's a weird one that I don't see the direct correlation, and that's what irks me. But it's not going to end my day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not going to stop me from seeing it in California.
Yeah, I mean, if the people in Aurora are fine with it, and that movie theater is fine with it, then
You know what they need to ban is Passion of the Christ because they crucify our Lord and Savior.
I mean,
How
it's
come I gotta keep reliving that?
it's fine, I guess, but I just don't like it on principle, man.
Yeah.
It's just like this generation is full of such fucking weak ass people. And I'm not saying just like the victims of Aurora. What I'm saying is, for some reason, like this new generation has this strange thing where they think the world has to like change for them. When we grew up, it's like, listen, you have to adapt to what the world throws at you. You know what I mean? And if something personally happened to you that affects you, you need to figure out a way for yourself to overcome that. You know what I mean? And this generation just doesn't fucking have that.
I would push. I don't want to even push back. I do agree. However, I mean, I was living in New Jersey at the time, and I remember there was pushback in terms of mosques and stuff being built in the area of Lower Manhattan, New York, or whatever, and that was completely fucked up.
Yeah, it's wrong.
I completely agree. So I don't want to. Because I consider that more of our generation. I feel fucking old saying there was a 2-generation thing between 9/11 and now.
It's
and
20
everything.
years almost.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, people were very, very sensitive, angry, and very
Bigoted.
ferocious. That's a correct word. Yeah. I mean, if we call it what it is, very bigoted about that. And I don't want to pretend like people weren't sensitive about that tragedy that happened and stuff that was completely unrelated and potentially unrelated to the events of 9/11 as well.
Yeah, the only thing I will clarify is that The people who want to see this movie can still do it. The people who don't want to see it, nobody's forcing you to see this movie at all. Yes, you may walk by a billboard poster or you may see an ad on TV. Sorry about that. Even if if you were a victim, but you'll live. I think that goes to what Chronos was saying.
If a picture bothers you that much, there's something deeply fucking wrong with you.
Yeah.
If just a simple photo causes you to flip the fuck out and have like the most terrible day you ever fucking had, there's something wrong with you. You need to seek help. This comes from somebody that deals with fucking mental health issues on a daily basis, and I don't expect the world to coddle me so I don't have certain thoughts or do whatever the fuck. You need to fucking figure out what is wrong with you and deal with your own personal issues. Your personal issues don't have shit to do with me or society. They really don't. It's not our jobs to fucking make your life better.
And I hope you do find some help,
Yeah.
professional help, seriously. And I don't mean that as like some dig or whatever. If again watching the trailer of Joaquin Phoenix playing this role on TV is damaging to you psychologically, then yeah, it's time to see somebody. Talk about it. Get help. Yes. We're all trying to help people.
What did Michael
The
Jordan
joke
say?
that we that Kronos and I were laughing at was the question was brought up in the chat. It said Captain had reference to do with Steve Rogers explained Captain America has America's ass. Who do we believe has America's ass in real life? And I responded by asking him if Ishka Lawrence has citizenship.
Oh, fucking hey.
She might.
Love it.
Yeah.
Thickness. All that thickness.
Do you see her recent Instagram post?
Do I not?
Dude, I posted in the chat room. I said she looks like she's about to take over the Hidden League Village. Like the outfit she's wearing. It's like, dude, man, woo.
Yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. But
She is Queen Pog.
for sure. I think that's enough for Joker for right now. Again, some people are gonna see it. Some people aren't.
Yeah.
I'll definitely give a review next week. Sounds like Blue will, maybe Old Ninja.
And then it's an easy segue, but the Birds of Prey trailer.
Yes.
Oh,
Since
God.
we knocked it out
Since
movie
it
to
dropped.
movie to movie, yeah. The Birds
It
of
dropped
Prey.
like yesterday or today, right? Or yesterday?
Yesterday.
First trailer.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Blue. You got some feelings on
Hold
this.
on. I need to still talk about some ass. Sorry, I was typing up some shit.
You still in Portuguese translation?
Yeah, Iskra Lawrence. To the surprise of literally no one, her boyfriend's black.
Oh,
Yeah. Ben
Like,
had.
she got a new boyfriend.
Been
who's
with
black.
him
I'm
for a
just like,
minute.
Lucky man.
Was there ever any doubt?
Yeah, shout out to him. Living the dream.
Yeah. Hitting those Powerball numbers.
I wonder if she noticed like the transition between like the guys that would hit on her.
Yeah.
From like when she was like a super thin like
Yep.
model to when she was like thick. She had to have noticed.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
Do you got to
You
show
need to
the
reach out to her people.
We fans. Fans.
She come on the show. It'll be like I know I wouldn't.
We come on her. I'm sorry.
Oh,
No, I was
damn.
thinking of that scene with the little white girl on the couch and the 5 black guys around her.
Oh.
So she's just
Feel like that.
Her boyfriend's a pretty big dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
choke him out though. I don't give a fuck.
Blue. Batman. Resident Batman. Guru. Birds of Prey. First trailer drop. What are your thoughts?
They should have just called this Harley Quinn. Like, I mean, it could be this is the first trailer, so maybe they're just trying to hype it up by just showing her doing her thing. But I don't know. I wasn't really feeling it. Like her accent that she has wasn't really cool. Like it wasn't the same accent she had in like Suicide Squad to me for some reason.
The title of the movie just is like, are you fucking kidding me?
It's a show, right? Not a movie.
No, it's a
No,
movie.
it's a movie.
Feature
Oh,
length.
It's
is
called
it?
Birds
Yeah.
of Prey.
Oh, I thought it was a
Underneath
show.
it, the emancipation of blah 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 blah
Well,
blah Harley Quinn or whatever. I'm like, calm down on the
They
words.
explain it in the beginning because in the beginning she talks about how oh, do you know what a Harley Quinn is? A Harley Quinn is somebody who answers to a master and she has to do what their master says. And so the whole thing is that these girls, they're all basically in some kind of slavery and they're trying to emancipate themselves from their masters. And I guess their master for Harley Quinn that was the Joker, but Emancipate, sorry.
Yeah.
With Birds, with the Huntress and with Black Canary, they're tied into Black Mask, which that part bothered me too because we don't ever see Black Mask in a trailer with the Black Mask on. He's just
It's Ewan
another
McGregor.
dude. Yeah, it's Ewan McGregor.
He's just
but
some dude.
It's just a dude in a white suit. He wasn't impressing me at all. But I don't know. It just didn't. It didn't have any wow factor. Oh shit, this is the Harley Quinn is doing. Even she has her mallet that she usually has, her giant fucking hammer thing.
And a hyena.
But it was which they show her a hyena, which is fine. But she usually has two. But her thing was like small and like petite. Like I've seen girls that cosplay having cooler hammers. So I liked her when she had the bat. The bat was fucking dope. Like
in
her
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, like one she had in Suicide Squad. But the hammer she had in the trailer was like, she's gonna hit somebody with it, but it's gonna be like wacky funny type of hit. You know what I mean? Harley Quinn does, but I don't know. I'm still.
You're waffling.
I'm kind of cool on this movie. I'm not like lukewarm or hot or anything. I'm just we'll see how it plays out once more trailers drop.
So the full name of this film is called Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. And there's somebody's name of note who I noticed in this, Journey Smoulier.
Oh,
Bell. So
Wait,
Yes.
which one?
Oh, that's his sister.
Yeah,
Jesse-
his sister.
That's
Are you
Juicy-
shitting me?
That's Juicy Smoulier's sister.
No fucking shit, really?
Yeah, she's
But you know
You
this
gotta
season-
change that name, girl.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
it's
she's an actress?
Smoulier Bell. She got married.
She got
I
married?
guess?
You
Yeah.
need to be a bell,
Bell,
girl.
yeah, just drop the Smoulier.
But then the other thing, like, you know, we all talk about like being accurate with the comics and stuff like that, because Harley Quinn isn't part of the Birds of Prey. It's usually like the Huntress, Black Canary, and
Batgirl.
Batgirl, yeah.
Those are usually the three, but they rotate.
But Harley
up.
Quinn was the villain, but for the villain version, it's the something Sirens, the
Oh, the Gotham
Gotham
Sirens.
yeah
City
Gotham
Sirens.
Sirens. Yeah, they're the ones that shoot the bat, which is like Harley Quinn, Black Widow, or not Black Widow,
Poison Ivy.
and Catwoman.
So are they meshing the? Well, no, I assume they aren't meshing the two because I would, I guess, recognize if Catwoman was in this. So who's supposed to be her homegirls in this movie?
It's
It's,
Black Canary and the Huntress.
And the Montoya police officer played by
Renee
Rose-
Montoya.
Yeah, Renee Montoya
right.
played by Rosa Perez.
I thought they were. Aren't they supposed to have a movie coming out with like Poison Ivy and all them? Or was that?
I think that's
what
an
was
edit. That might
rumored
be-
that this was going to be at first.
No,
When it,
I
They
don't
should
know.
have
I
Inigo
mean,
Montoya in there. I'm just saying.
I mean, Poison
Call it
Ivy
the
could be in the film. I have no idea.
Oh.
But I do know that Black Mask is gay in this movie.
Really? That's
Oh
canon?
yeah. Oh yeah, that's been canon. Our boy. So we had our Hollywood liaison had already informed some of us that Black Mask would be gay, and then there was trades like a month and a half ago before the trailer dropped saying that DC's coming out with the first gay villain, or like the first, I guess, feature film gay villain.
Is this
whatever.
has this? All, I don't know Black Mask very well. That's my ignorance. But has that been something that DC has introduced prior in either like cartoons or comics that we know of?
Not that I have seen.
Okay.
Usually he's a mob boss.
That's
kinda
what I've
deal,
known
and
him
he's-
as.
Normally he's fighting Red Hood.
Hood, yeah.
Red Hood's usually his Red Hood's nemesis is usually Black Mask, but he's fought Batman before, so he was a Batman villain, and then like shift over to Red Hood once he came up. So I don't know. I guess Victor Zsasz is in this as well.
Oh yeah.
I'm kind of excited about that part. I haven't seen Victor in a Batman movie. Wasn't in any of the Nolans or any of the
No,
90s ones.
He's in Gotham though.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's in Gotham.
So he's way different in Gotham. He has no eyebrows, but he doesn't do like the cuts every time he kills someone, and
He should never have eyebrows. He should be bald.
yeah, but he's always in a suit. He doesn't have like
Oh, I see what you're saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
He does. He makes the cuts on everyone that he kills, but he doesn't do at least
I think
they
the
don't.
one-
They
I
don't
think-
show that in Gotham.
I think Gotham they do show him with the cuts. I think I could be confusing.
It might be on his wrist, but not. He has it on his whole body.
Yeah.
That's what he's famous for, and being a like sadistic like rapist and killer.
Yeah.
And
He's
in,
evil.
In Gotham, he's just like a hired gun, pretty much.
Yeah, that's a waste of him. Stitch, go ahead and get your hating in. I know you hate on
No,
this.
it doesn't suit any. I mean, like we've gone on about how trailers aren't the movie and blah
Yep.
blah
Yeah, that's true.
blah. But it doesn't do it. I mean, yeah, the hyena thing looked pretty cool. That was a part that sort of piqued my interest, but that was really the only thing in the trailer that really made me kind of wow. All of it just seemed to be like just corny kind of one-liners and her just doing random stuff. And it's just focused on her. I mean, I'm kind of curious
Yeah.
to know about these other characters, especially someone that doesn't know really anything about the Birds of Prey, but they seem to be just blasting me with Harley Quinn, and then it's like, all right, we're gonna make this about how she's broken up with the Joker, which essentially we didn't see any fucking relationship. Was my beef with Suicide Squad was we didn't really see a relationship with the Joker. It was just we got a series of flashbacks and stuff, and in the trailer just like, oh, me and the Joker broke up. I was in a crazy abusive relationship. Like, yeah, I know that based on my comic book knowledge and my shows from the Batman movies, but I didn't get
didn't see
too
it.
much of it in Suicide Squad, except her getting pushed from the helicopter and stuff. And then for them to make this whole movie on the whole premise of like, she's lost her mind now or whatever. She's got her independence back because she's no longer with the Joker. And when we
How Harley Quinn got her groove back.
yeah, when we barely saw the fucking Joker, it just seems like a grab of that fan base and just being like, here, come look, come to our tent and look.
Her fan base is super loyal though.
Yes, exactly.
So they're gonna get. They're gonna get people to watch it, but it's not gonna be like. It's not gonna be a blockbuster.
I agree.
I don't think so.
And I think they have the potential to make it a blockbuster if it was done. I mean, it would be an epic blockbuster if they did it right. But I don't think anything that they've set up for this has been correct.
I put Joker and the Harley Quinn movie like one's a little bit ahead of the other, like barely. You know, I think they're both not going to do great. Actually, no. I think Harley Quinn's going to do much worse than the Joker.
Okay.
Because I mean, way more people know who Joker is.
True.
And you know, it's been getting all this buzz. I don't think this is going to get any buzz at all, really. Because it doesn't seem. I gotta watch the trailer. I haven't watched the trailer.
Okay. The trailer just dropped, and this is the first one. I'm glad they're finally fucking promoting this movie because I didn't realize until I was on your girl's Twitter that it was dropping in February, which is pretty fucking...
Disowns her now.
Yeah. Your girl.
Backpedaling.
Your girl.
Which girl?
Wonder Girl. Wonder
Who
Gal.
who shits on everything Marvel, including Black Panther.
She's awesome. She's just hilarious.
Oh,
but
wow.
anyway,
mad if you read
what's
her
the name?
tweets.
Homegirl from Scott Pilgrim Saves the World is playing the Huntress.
okay.
Yeah, that's
Mary
Mary
Elizabeth
Winstead.
Yeah.
Well,
Who should have been Ray.
What I'll say is this, though.
Just saying.
Harley's definitely the star. There's no fucking doubt about it. It's her movie, and I get the fact that Birds of Prey is in the title technically before her, but we don't know the fucking Birds of Prey. You can't deny, even people who completely hated, like gave Suicide Squad like a 2 or a 3, said that Harley Quinn was good in Suicide Squad, right?
Oh, yeah, she was like the best part of the Suicide Squad.
I mean, I think that's kind of undeniable. Margot as Harley was good.
Right.
Yes, the writing with the Joker, I agree with you, Stitch, wasn't up to par, and it should have been more developed. I get all of that. Some of the
Joker
other
itself
side
is
characters in Suicide Squad were trash. Margot Robbie as Harley was not one of the worst parts at all of Suicide Squad.
I agree.
So because we know her, yes, she's going to get top billing over the other two that I don't know about at all. Huntress and what's her Black Canary.
Black
Other
Canary.
than an Arrow, I know Black Canary.
Yeah.
But that's it.
This Black Canary is actually black.
Yeah.
that's
Redbone little one.
I'm wondering.
His sister.
Yeah, I'm wondering which Huntress they're using, the Helena Wayne or the Helena Bartonelli.
Bartonelli says it on here.
Are they doing Bartonelli? Okay, well then.
We'll see. We'll see. This is going to rise or fall, at least in my opinion, on how Margot does as Harley and how Ewan McGregor does it as Black Mask. I don't think anything else is really as important. I think those two are going to carry this film if it does well. But I need more trailers. I need more info.
And this is Leto is still technically Joker in this
I don't
world.
think-
I think they
No
pushed
idea.
Leto the fuck out. That's my understanding.
Because I assume they're gonna flash back to they're gonna have some. He's gonna have to
Doubtful.
appear in the movie
I
somewhere.
think they'll
I doubt
say
it.
his
No.
name,
Flashback,
but
yeah.
I don't think you're gonna see Leto
They're not gonna show
anywhere.
him. I don't
Yeah,
think
they
they're
probably-
gonna
It's going to be
reference
like
him.
Norton with the Hulk and whatnot. Push that to the side.
We broke up, but we're not gonna
Yeah.
talk about why or what happened.
I mean,
or
Terrence
whatever.
Howard was Rhodey once.
Yeah, they don't talk about that.
Yeah, don't talk about that. He on
Yeah,
Empire and
it's
shit. We
just-
don't. Yeah.
It's just weird.
Main.
Man.
Man.
Yeah, I found Loki, man.
Iron Man.
So, dude, I really fucking think I like. Don't get me wrong. I like what's his name. The new Rhodey.
Oh, Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle's great. He's a great actor. He's not fucking Rhodey. Nothing about him comes across anywhere near as good as Terrence Howard was in that very first Iron Man. He was going toe to toe with Robert Downey Jr. If you go back and watch that.
They have the best chemistry in that film, but apparently they were fighting off camera.
Oh yeah,
So I'm like,
they hated each other.
But I mean, but it works so great on screen though. It was great.
Perfect.
But I love the memes where like Terrence Howard as Rhodey meets Don Cheadle as Rhodey. Those memes are fucking fire.
So
Fire.
it's like we might get a young Batgirl in this.
Oh yeah, we're getting
Or Batwoman.
you're getting Cassandra Cain. You're getting the Asian young Asian Batgirl.
Did you see how I guess Batwoman Ruby Rose got injured?
Yeah, she had to have
supposedly?
emergency surgery.
Crazy yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know
so-
what happened though. What happened?
Is she still filming?
No.
She was performing, I guess, some stunt for the show, or
Oh boy.
and she got injured really bad and like had to get like almost paralyzed.
Do we
or some
know what
shit.
happened?
I don't
don't
know
know.
the details behind the stunt. or whatever. But they released some news saying is like she was injured really bad performing a stunt.
Paralyzed.
Wait, what?
I don't think she was.
It says almost getting paralyzed.
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
Goddamn headlines.
You putting out that fake news.
Ruby Rose paralyzed. Almost.
That's fine, Brett.
Leg fell asleep.
Yeah.
Actually, I
Yeah,
believe
sleep paralysis or some shit.
she might have been filming for the Crisis crossover and got hurt.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
We'll fucking see. We'll see.
But in terms, it looks like she's, I guess, not paralyzed, which is good.
One last thing about Birds of Prey, though, that's going to be interesting, at least for me as a non-hardcore Birds of Prey fan or whatever. If you're in Gotham, which I don't know if they are, you got to also explain not only where the fuck the Joker is in relation to Harley, but where the fuck is Batman?
Well, they can either be in Gotham or in
Bloodhaven?
Bloodhaven, yeah.
They can be
'cause-
in
Oh, Nightwing's town, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
They
Nightwing's
can be in
town.
Bloodhaven.
Yeah, because I can see those are only two like real, I guess.
But we've never
Batman.
seen Bloodhaven in a
Why would-
DC movie.
Why would they do? I don't understand.
Right?
Well, they could do
in a DC live action, have we seen Bloodhaven?
I
Like,
didn't know
kinda,
nothing about
not really.
Bloodhaven.
Well, they could do Bloodhaven because, like, you know, maybe Black Mask got kicked out of Gotham because, you know, what's the guy's name? The big boss in Gotham.
Bane or
No, one of the mob bosses.
The
one that
Penguin
might
from Fernelli's
No.
or Martelli.
the one that,
whatever?
so yeah, shit, I can't think of their names. The one
Oh,
from
the
the
Marconi family.
Marconi family, like, yeah, because they're big time in Gotham. Maybe they pushed him out, and so he went to Bloodhaven.
Could be anything.
no
Bloodhaven's
matter what
like
they do,
the next city over.
if they ignore that shit,
Yeah.
I will be with some of y'all shitting on it because either way, you're gonna have to explain how these Batman heroes and villains are not in Gotham and where the fuck Batman is.
I didn't.
You liked Venom, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Hold on. I enjoyed it, but I didn't
you
love.
sure?
Hold
Check.
on.
Put the chess piece there.
Hold on.
Check.
I didn't give it an 8. I didn't give it a 9. I didn't love it, and it had a whole lot of problems. I admit that it had problems.
What did you give it?
It was in. I gave it like a 7.
Yeah, 7.9 or some
Okay.
shit.
I didn't. No, it wasn't.
Almost, yeah.
It wasn't no 7.
Where's the spreadsheet?
Yeah,
Where's the
find that
at?
spreadsheet. No, but Venom had a whole bunch of problems. That villain was terrible.
But you were fine with it not having Spider-Man, and you called it a Spider-man movie.
Being in San
Well,
Francisco.
it is a Spider-Man movie
But
in
no
the greater
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man world. We're probably going to see Spider-Man in the franchise of Venom.
He was not in
They
Venom.
didn't even say his fucking name, bro.
No, they
they
didn't.
didn't.
They didn't.
Spider-Man gonna be in San Francisco now.
Pretty much.
He might swing over there, goddammit.
That's me at Superior Spider-Man.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Auto Octavia.
No.
Yeah.
Who the fuck
But I mean,
knows?
we didn't know that fucking Metropolis and fucking Gotham were like. San
Man,
Francisco,
fuck
Oakland.
that
Don't
shit.
stop.
That bothered me.
That bugged the fuck out
That
of me.
bothered me.
I was
Yeah.
confused, and so is this like San Jose now? This thing that you're talking about? Like I don't know anything about this geography of the world.
Yeah. There's no maps in any DC movies. So you can't do that.
Yeah,
Right,
so you can
It's
see
a
the
bridge.
you can see the bat symbol. So apparently you can see the bat symbol from Metropolis.
That bothered me.
Well,
I was
no,
like, wait, what?
It's like dark and gloomy in fucking Gotham, but
It
it's like
was,
a fucking
dude.
boat ride. It's like Oakland and San Francisco, basically.
Yeah, so it like in Beavis, you could literally see like in Metropolis it was all like clear, but it was windy, and then fucking Gotham it was a big ass black
and shit.
cloud, fucking storming and shit. I was like, really? Like you can throw a rock
Seriously,
and
yeah.
hit fucking Gotham.
Yeah.
I always took Chicago as Gotham
Yeah,
and New York
a lot
as
of people
fucking
did. A lot of people
Metropolis.
did. A lot of
Yeah.
people did. And I don't even know what's the official distance between the two cities.
Yeah, Bane literally had Oakland on lockdown, shut down all the bridges,
Yeah?
and everyone was just chilling in San Francisco like nothing was going on.
Look, there's some problems there. They'll have to explain it. We'll see. To be determined. I'm not on an 8 out of 10 in terms of excitement, but I'm probably like a 6.5. We'll see what
I mean,
what the fuck they do.
I plan on seeing this movie because our boy, poor homie Quan, he worked on this film.
Good shit.
I'm a fan of Birds of Prey, but I'm not like super diehard. But I do know, like what Blue was talking about, like the normal trade. Usually, they work for Oracle. Oracle's usually their guy in the chair, quote unquote, and they usually rotate at least one.
Woman in chair, you sexist bastard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, whatever. It was a quote, just like they call your boy. Not Ned, the guy in the chair. So yeah, I'm planning on seeing this, but is this gonna be a matinee? Am I seeing this opening weekend? I don't know. Probably not. I don't know, maybe.
Got like 4 months before it comes
Yeah,
out.
no.
Yeah, it's what, February or
Yeah,
January?
February 7th supposed to come out.
It'll be a little weird. I'll just go out on a limb and say it'll be a little weird for me to see Ewan McGregor as this really, really intimidating gangster, and then getting the mask and all that, and being the main villain, and then I don't know who is his love interest then if they're showing his gay.
I think his love interest is
Zazu?
no,
Zaz?
No, it's Zaz. Yeah,
Whoa. Okay. Well, we'll see.
we'll see.
'Cause I'm just not used to that from canon, and maybe I've
Yeah.
missed something.
Yeah, he didn't seem like a gay character to me in the comics, but you know, whatever. It's 2019. Anybody can be gay, right?
When they tried doing that shit with the
So-
Joker, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. People wanted the Joker to be gay. Actually, in Gotham, the Penguin is gay.
I didn't know.
Y'all,
that. All right.
y'all know
But
my
they
thoughts on
did it
this
really
shit.
well though when they revealed
Well,
that the Penguin was gay.
We all knew he was gay. Like they set up for it. But listen, if you want a gay character, make a new fucking character. I mean, I say this shit all the time. Stop just ripping off. It's like it's cheap to me when you take an established character and you just change it to however the fuck you want because it's today. Just if it's today, because you know, I guess there's more people out that are gay. There's fucking 5 million genders out. Then make, you know, however you wanted the character the way you want it.
Yep.
Don't just take the script from somebody else and just, okay, now he's gay. Oh, okay, now he's brown. Oh, okay, now he's white. It's just like, what? Are you fucking serious? This is the laziest writing ever.
And I will say this: we talked directly with what's his name, Mr. Terrific from Arrow,
yes.
about this subject because they changed Mr. Terrific on the CW.
Yeah, because he had
To a
a
gay
family,
character.
and his
Echo-
family
Echo
was
Kellum.
part.
Yeah,
His
Echo
family.
Kellum. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Terrific's family was like linked to his character. Why he does what he does is because of his family.
And real quick, this is no shade to the actor. He doesn't write the show.
No,
So yeah, we don't have any beef. We appreciated him coming on.
Yeah, he
Fucking
was
shitty
great.
writers.
Yeah, he was great.
The writers made that change, and it's a drastic one. You know, I mean, it is what
So
it
it looks like the Bird of Prey is going to be the first part of a Harley Quinn trilogy.
is. Wow. Okay.
Oh, wow.
The second movie,
Well,
Can I call it?
it's rumor mill,
oh,
but
you're saying it's not gonna make a trilogy?
No, I'll say it. No, I said the same thing about fucking, what was that movie?
Oh, The Mummy.
The Mummy. Yeah.
They always say it's a trilogy until the first one fucking flops. And I'm going to put the
Yeah.
same disclaimer out for this movie. The first one doesn't do well. You ain't seeing fucking 2 and 3.
well, so the second one's going to be Gotham's
City
Gotham
Sirens.
Sirens.
Yeah.
And
No.
the woman was supposed to have the fucking next ones too. They had them
What?
all named and shit.
Well, the third one's going to be Bird of Prey versus Gotham City Sirens.
We'll
Well,
see.
that might be
We'll see.
interesting.
This one does have to hit for that to happen. But then again, that what was it? That Alicia Van whatever Tomb Raider one didn't really do all that well. It was
Nope.
lukewarm. Then I
And
saw
then-
it greenlit for a sequel,
Sequel.
which
like-
surprised the fuck out of me.
Did he
Like
get-
pre-production sequels.
Yeah, and nobody was asking for that. Nobody was going. Tomb Raider is an established, beloved franchise. It's been around for almost 20 years and shit. Probably over 20 years. That was in the 90s.
Oh,
Yeah.
late mid-90s.
Yeah.
I mean,
but the movie didn't do as well as the Jolie movies in the 90s, and yet it's getting a
Well,
sequel.
Well, she was in that fucking silver suit, dog.
Yeah.
And it was Angelina Jolie. I'm just.
That was
just
drinking
saying.
blood, kissing her brother Angelina.
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Not
Also-
save the world UN kind of Angelina.
Yeah,
Different.
but-
There,
Fucking kids
there
and
was
shit.
also The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Like the first movie did really well. The second one did okay, but it was not enough to like greenlit a sequel. But they did a sequel anyway.
Yep.
So
With-
and that became a trilogy.
We'll fucking see. We will fucking see. Y'all want to get into some more serious stuff? Right? You had the one Dallas case.
Oh shit!
I'll let you set
Yo,
it up,
girl.
Ninja. My girl.
You got a lot of girls.
Interesting.
I don't even know this lady's name. I mean, I've been keeping an eye on it, but
I believe it's Amber Geiger.
is it Geiger? Yeah.
Geyer.
You mean
Geyer.
Inmate.
Yeah.
Oh, inmate 19167.
Let me, yeah, let me set the
Just
story
use the
up.
proper term. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You mean,
Oh
you
yeah.
mean murderer?
We're in PC culture now, so her proper
Well,
name,
is,
proper pronoun.
The incident happened, I guess, around
A
a
year
year
ago.
ago. This time it took place in Dallas, Texas. A female officer for the Dallas Police Department came home from working some 12, 13-hour shift.
Well, I thought she was
to-
drunk.
No.
no,
No.
she just got off work.
Got
She
off.
came quote unquote home.
Yeah, home from work to her apartment complex, and when she arrived at what she thought was her door, she saw the door was partially opened. She was still in her uniform. Entered the residence, which she says she believed was hers. encountered somebody inside who was sitting on the couch and shot and murdered him and everything. I guess supposedly she realized that it wasn't the right house and everything, freaked out, and that's where we are with her sort of with just the bare bone of what happened.
There's
whatever.
some details.
Now, as you go further on into the details, as we found out, she didn't really administer any life-saving care to the person,
and she had a backpack full of those kind of materials.
After she shot the person inside, and unfortunately, I do not know his name, which is
it's
sad on my part.
Boyton or no?
Boyton Jean?
Boyhan.
Yeah, he's
both of them.
from an island.
Like Gotham, but with a B.
Yeah, I think he's from like an island or native to an
Some
island.
I don't know the name.
But
Some island.
he was sitting at home.
Research on this story.
Yeah. Is he from Australia? Is he from Madagascar?
It's a continent, goddammit.
Yeah.
I don't want to just randomly start throwing out countries and be completely wrong, but he was sitting at home just chilling, watching TV, eating ice cream on his couch when
Apparently in his boxers.
Yeah, when Geiger ran in, shot him up, and everything, and I mean we don't know what actually happened between the two when they walked in, but we do know that he was shot and killed, and murdered in his house and everything. She was consequently charged originally with manslaughter. Then after the Dallas Police Department did their investigation, and the grand jury decided they were going to charge her fully with murder, she was fired from her police department, and I think it was like a $3 million bond or bail.
It was $300,000.
$300,000 bail bond, whatever.
That means it was, well, for the bond, right? But it's $3 million for bail, then, right? Because it's like a certain percentage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're both right. There you go.
Yeah, it's like 10%. Yeah.
So the trial took place and came to a conclusion yesterday. There was a lot of testimony and stuff, and it got a little bit interesting in the past, I guess, 72 hours, because they were going to allow the Castle Doctrine, which is sort of famously known as the Stand Your Ground law.
It's Texas's version of Stand Your Ground.
Texas version of Stand Your Ground. Law, shit, right? Yeah, which is essentially what the kid in Florida got killed. Trayvon Martin. That what the whole thing was cycle where the person supposedly was in fear of their own life and they don't have to move and blah blah blah, which was a lot of people were up in arms because how are you going to enter somebody else's house and then claim I was standing my ground when you enter somebody else's house that you aren't supposed to be in. Armed. Yeah, when the other person's not a threat and everything like that. As details came out, they saw text messages exchanged between her and another co-worker who she was kind of fooling around with.
So the text messages didn't come out until after.
Right, because she deleted. I mean, of course, she deleted
a lot,
all of her history, wiped her social media clean, except for Pinterest, and all that stuff. A lot of it got brought into trial, some of it didn't, but essentially the jury found unanimously that she was guilty of murder, which was really interesting because I didn't know that they were initially going for murder. But in Texas, all you need to do is prove intent rather than criminal intent to charge somebody with murder. I mean, we have the professors from Texas, and Texas operates differently than California in a lot of states.
Sure do. First ask questions later. Except don't, because you're still a murderer, apparently.
Yeah. You can defend your property, your shed with deadly force, but you can.
Well, let's pause for a second. There's like when I first heard this story, I was like, this shit don't add up at all. Because I'm like, first of all, like, don't get me wrong, I understand you're tired. Listen, I was in the Marine Corps. I've been fucking tired of shit before. Never once I opened up a door into somebody else's into a house I thought was mine. So first of all, if you go into anybody's house, the first thing you do when you walk in, you could smell that it smells different.
Yeah.
It doesn't smell like your house. Even all the fucking lights are off, you can smell. You're like, hold on, something's not right here. You know what I mean? Even if it's dark, the ambient light from outside going in, you can see that your shit is not in this house.
Yeah.
So how the fuck she missed all that shit?
Right.
I have no idea. And the fact that she shot a guy without saying anything, like not put your hands up, not fucking who the fuck are you? None of that shit.
And she's the police officer. Like, isn't that
that's
the
what
first
you're
thing
supposed to do?
Yeah, especially if you're finding the door partially ajar or cracked open or whatever.
Yeah.
Then you would stop and listen to see what's going on inside to assess if there is a threat inside. I mean, if you're armed or whatever, even if you're fully in uniform on duty or whatever, you're first to a building that potentially is open, you're going to call for your backup.
Yeah, you don't just go in and fucking
You don't
shoot
just
people.
walk up in
Yeah.
there fat, dumb, and lazy,
Yeah,
as they used to call it or whatever.
So I'm gonna jump in, kind of answer one of Cronus' questions. So the reason why she thought it was hers, according to her testimony, is that she was texting this other officer at the time of her entering the place. So she was telling him, by her testimony, that she was super horny and she basically wanted to get smashed.
So she was expecting someone to be in her house. So that doesn't make sense at all.
No. She was telling the other officer, when you off, I'm trying to get smashed. And then when she looks up from her phone and sees what she thought was her door, instead of realizing she
Wasn't
got
she
off
on the
of
wrong?
one,
Hold on. Wasn't she on the wrong?
she was
floor?
on the wrong floor,
yeah.
but she thought she was on the right floor, but she's busy in her phone, and they brought that up in court, and they asked her what was she texting about, and she was saying because she's texting a married man, and so she didn't want that information
real
getting
winner
out.
right
Fucking
here.
train wreck.
Yeah, she was texting a married man who's also a co-worker and officer of the law, and she's deep in her phone getting off her shift, and then she's texting, I'm horny, I'm super horny. When are you off? When am I going to see you? And then she looks up and realizes the door's ajar, not realizing where she's at, not taking in her surroundings.
Well, at that
Yeah.
point,
No,
at that point, you stop. And
Yeah,
you realize,
but she didn't. That's the thing. She didn't stop.
That's
Yeah, I
part of
know.
why she's in the
why
situation
she's
she's
going to
in right
jail.
now.
So one thing
Yeah.
I don't get is I'm looking at like images and stuff from the court, and she's, I guess the guy's the victim's brother.
Oh yeah,
And
we're
his
gonna
mother.
get to that part.
Well, like, oh god, like she's hugging her, and after she was found convicted. But the thing that pissed me off is that she's also hugging the judge.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Oh,
a no-
she chugged
that's a-
three:
that's a
the
no-no.
judge, the brother, and the mom.
Yeah,
Yeah, but the judge, like,
we'll get to that part. Yeah, whatever.
I mean, the family, that's something different.
Yeah.
But the judge, no.
Yeah. She was found guilty, and then in Texas, it's the jury that decides. A lot of states, the judge will decide the sentence or whatever. But I guess in Texas, the same jury that voted guilt or innocence can decide what's it called?
Sentencing?
The sentencing phase of it or whatever. So that took place for about a day, where you hear testimony from the family and whatever. And the jury then deliberated, and they had a time frame of, I believe, 5 to 99 years based on the circumstances that they could choose or whatever in the situation. Now, it wasn't first degree murder because there was no
intent.
wasn't
premeditated
premeditated. Oh, yeah, there you go.
intent to go in there and deliberately kill the person. So that's why it wasn't, you don't have your whole standard 20 to life or whatever thing like that. So there was all these circumstances that they were, I guess, allowed to factor in. The jury came back and gave 10 years, which unfortunately I predicted like dead on the nose. I was like, I think it's gonna be 10 or whatever. I was hoping, and the family was also, I guess, from what they were saying, hoping that it would be 28 because the guy was 28 years old.
Seems
the one that she
reasonable.
murdered. It seems reasonable, seems fair, logical, and everything. Gave her 10. The family members were very visibly distraught and angry when they were leaving the courtroom. Like, they were yelling and screaming. I don't know if it was sister, cousin, or whatever, but there were some family members outside that had some sort of like outburst and stormed out and everything.
Rightly so.
Now, where a lot of people are saying, and it's interesting that the brother, I guess, he forgave Geyer for what had happened and everything, and he hugged her and everything, and they had words and an embrace, and she was sobbing or whatever. Now, where it got a little bit kind of head tilty was the judge hugging the...
Can we pause for one quick second and just let me ask a question? I know everybody wants to jump in, but I was always under the impression, and maybe I'm wrong, and it depends, and Texas is different, but once you're convicted, isn't it
take you away?
Yeah, take you, bailiff or sheriff, take this motherfucking
Murder.
guilty murdering convict away. Where does the whole pause for hugs come in?
No idea.
That's a good question. I don't know, because each state operates by its own sort of rules. Like I said about even the jury part of it. Because I
that's
thought
new
as
to
soon as
me.
it's guilty, normally they shackle you up or whatever,
Yeah.
and they off to processing and everything. So even when they announced guilty, I was like, all right, so she's going to jail, right? She was just sort of standing around and they explained the whole sentencing phase. I was like, okay,
Yeah, and she
that's
came back in normal clothes. I'm like, why didn't you come back in like an orange jumpsuit?
I'm
definitely going to
completely-
jail.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
what the
completely
fuck?
weird about that. Your freedom is gone at that point or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
As
guilty.
soon as the hammer hits or whatever, yeah,
that's
the sentence.
Yeah, then
There should
whatever.
be like a slide, like a shoot.
like that Chevy Chase
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
As you're following, your clothes get changed in the orange
Yeah,
jumpsuit.
there
The
you
chains
go.
come on.
Yeah.
Big
Welcome to
Jetson
jail,
2.
bitch.
Yeah.
Is that the movie with that
With Demi
Digital,
Moore?
no, Digital Underground did the
yeah,
movie,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
they showed
Yeah.
up.
I'm gonna have to look
House
that
of
up.
Hunter.
It has Tupac
or
in it,
House-
too.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
does have Tupac.
All around the world. Same song.
Same song.
What movie was that?
So to jump on Stitch's thing really quick, apparently what I had seen or read, I don't know how much validity this has, but apparently the judge and the defendant were sorority sisters.
Oh, I don't know
So
anything about
apparently
that.
they went to
No.
the same sorority and
No,
they may have
no,
known each other.
No, that would definitely fuck no. That's
That
like against
seemed
all
like
kinds
would
of
be a-
rules.
I know, but I mean,
No.
I'm sure that
know.
would be, but an
It's a conflict of
exposed, and that would have
interest.
been a mistrial
Yeah.
right off the bat.
Yeah, it would have been mistrial after
Yeah.
that. It's a conflict of interest. It said, have you never been on a jury before?
no, I have not.
So when you're sitting in there, you have the first things.
Same action, like you're saying sorority sisters that were in the same house, or like I pledged to the same fraternity, but that was 10 years prior
That's a
and
good
we
point.
didn't know each other.
Don't know.
Those are two different things.
Yeah.
I
Completely
think
different things.
there's I think there are gaps.
Because you could be a Sigma whatever,
okay.
and
Yeah.
she could be a Sigma,
Okay.
and you never met her.
Yeah, if they didn't
Yes.
know each other, that's
Yeah.
fine. But if they knew each other, then yeah, they would have gone.
Yeah, I don't believe they know each other, but they
Yeah.
were
I
the
don't think
organizations.
Well,
I don't
that-
think
that'll
matters.
mean-
That's-
that'll mean
yeah,
shit,
That's
you
just
know?
being like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, the judge was a Marine. That person on trial is a Marine
Marine,
or in the
yeah.
Army or whatever. I mean,
Yeah, I'll let him. I'll be even fucking
Whatever,
worse.
yeah.
Like, you did that double
How
dog?
dare you?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How dare you show up here?
yeah.
So that movie you were talking about is called Nothing But Trouble.
Yeah,
That was a fun movie.
Great, great movie. So yeah,
Dan Aykroyd's in that shit.
so the judge, I guess, had some embrace with the defendant,
Fucking
which
weird.
I mean,
Judges ain't supposed to do that. I don't care what state you're in. That's weird.
I never saw a judge leave their bench and fucking go down and.
Well, not for somebody that's guilty of fucking murder.
Yeah.
Even if you're innocent, why would the judge be hugging up on someone?
it's
Don't y'all
Judge?
see? Yeah,
It's
it's like
weird.
Judge Judy don't give a fuck about nobody.
it's weird. I mean,
That's
judges
I'm
are,
out.
operate on their own power structure because
yeah.
a lot of them are either appointed or voted in. If they're appointed, then they ain't going anywhere. It's like they don't have to answer to anybody, really, for
Well,
the most
not
part.
for a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to do something egregious.
Yeah.
Judges are fucking. I hate that whole system. Because, like, I had a problem with a judge before, and it was in Michigan for family courts. And I wanted to get a different judge, but in the state of Michigan, in most states, the only way to get a new judge is if the judge recuses himself from the trial. And I'm just
they
like,
ain't doing
ain't
that.
no judge going to do that. You know, like, how the fuck is that even fair?
Nope. Basically, they are the one judging, and they're almost like a deity in the courtroom in a lot of ways. They just
Yeah,
do what
they
they
are.
want.
Yeah. Even my run-ins with judges, it's like I just kiss their asses for no good reason. Just I know
they
better.
want-
They can.
yeah.
Their
They got a
power.
lot of
is-
power.
Yeah, a lot of unfair power that you can pretty much go unchallenged.
Well, they think they do until they piss off the wrong person. So that's all it takes, piss off the wrong person. People like that, they assume that people operate by the rules. You know what I mean? And all it takes is one motherfucker that doesn't operate by the rules, and all of a sudden, half your fucking family's dead.
God
That shit
damn.
happens. I mean, that shit happens.
Yeah, man.
So
Well, apparently the judge talked to the murderer after the trial. I guess they had like a session or some shit.
None
What's
of
she, a
that. None of
counselor
that.
now? Like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
none of that seems
the fuck outta
kosher.
here.
But
I don't know.
anyway, this is a murdering. We've gotten away from both the victim and the murderer.
Yeah, but what's this about her racist stuff and her Pinterest? Like,
Well, they found a lot of her because they wanted to go into her social media history and stuff like that because a lot of time they were trying to sort of prove intent or see what kind of a person this was, and she had a lot of sort of quotes on Pinterest saying like "shoot first, ask questions later," kind of.
It's not a good look.
Yeah, stuff like that would
pro
potentially
Texas.
get you in some trouble if you said some dumb shit or whatever. Some like borderline like comments like calling Colin Kaepernick Colin Cancer and shit like that because just stuff that will not look good and portray you negatively if you get put on trial. Something that Prodigy should take note of.
Yeah, no, you know I'm going to
Yeah.
You know I'm
That's
not getting
why-
a fair trial.
that's
They're going
why
to dig up
he's-
everything on me. And
Yeah,
you
you get
that's it.
locked
That's
up
it
for the
me.
rest of your life.
To be fair, I will say, and again, she's a murderous piece of shit, but what you do, and this is self-serving, what you do on social media is one thing, and obviously I just have a problem with her actions, her reckless actions going into someone's home that ain't yours, who wasn't a threat to you, who was minding his own fucking business, scratching his balls on his couch,
Eating ice cream,
who wasn't drug dealing, wasn't doing shit, and then he gets killed.
And then
that's the part I hate.
Yeah, and didn't attempt to give first aid. That was my biggest thing where I was just like, fuck this bitch. Because even when I listened to that part of the testimony when they were asking about like, oh, what happened after you realized you shot him, and she's talking about, well, he was having trouble breathing, so I gave him.
He's got bullets in him.
I gave him a.
You put them there.
She talked about how she gave him a sternum rub, or whatever.
Sternum.
And then they were asking, like, well, what is a sternum rub? And
That's how you wake somebody up when they're sleeping.
Yes.
But you shot them.
Yes. Exactly.
Fucking hell.
And she's like, I just was trying to encourage him to breathe. And I'm like, you encouraging him to breathe by giving him sternum? And I literally was like, I just need to go grab me some orange juice from the fridge.
You do the SpongeBob? All right, I'm out.
I'm out.
I mean, what that shows is, to me, it's two things. Either this is the only two things that could have happened in my mind. Either she shot the guy and she did it on purpose, and she was just like, well, fuck, this guy's gonna fucking die. Or two, she was fucking freaking out and she really just shot the guy, and then after the fact, she freaked out more and she didn't know what the fuck to do. And that shows me that she should not have been a police officer
Poor training.
ever.
I
training.
feel like this judge shouldn't be a judge because apparently the judge left the courtroom and came back and gave the girl a Bible and said, "You can have mine." Like gave her her Bible,
Jesus
and she told her to read like
It's Texas.
John
That's like
1:16 and this and that.
This is a murderer.
But it says that it's on here. It's
There's
saying
Bibles there's Bibles in prison.
But
I
saying-
promise you can find one.
It's saying the judge had to hold back her tears. It's like you're judging somebody. Your fucking job is to judge somebody. Like, why are you fucking crying?
You're supposed to be stone cold like this
Yeah,
is it,
oh
And this,
bitch.
God.
and this is a murderer.
Yeah,
A
exactly.
convicted murderer. All right, yeah, I understand
By her
feeling,
peers, she was convicted.
feeling bad for some people, but I mean, she killed a guy in basically cold blood. She doesn't get that much sympathy from me, especially getting 10 fucking years.
In a lot of ways, she broke in and killed him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's be real.
So
Like,
this is what fucked up my head. She broke into someone else's apartment, basically, but then the judge said the jury can consider the castle doctrine. I'm like, how is this stand your ground when it's not her property? It's not her residence.
A lot of people were saying this is all to prevent sort of mistrial, like just by not preventing the jury from using this and using that, restricting them, it helps prevent like a mistrial in terms of like what the judge will admit as evidence and not admit as evidence.
I'm no lawyer. I don't get that.
Regardless, it doesn't matter. They still came out with guilty. So if they're saying, yeah, you can consider that, you can't consider it, and the jury was still like, no, fuck that, you're guilty, then there's no harm, no foul on that whole part of it or whatever. The whole sentencing thing, that sort of makes me question why. But the judge doesn't really have any say in that at all. That's between the
jury.
12 people in that room.
That's a soft. Look, it's a soft sentence. I think there are people who are doing much longer. Yeah, much longer sentencing for
fucking drugs.
Weed, like weed,
Yeah.
literally a few grams of weed, a
Yeah.
single joint or two,
Like
You
theft.
yeah, petty theft
Yeah.
of like almost the equivalent of some bubble gum at a liquor store.
Not life theft.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
It's just like
Yeah,
an
like-
object.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, we got to get our sentencing priorities straight, man. Just as a country. Holy fuck.
So what I heard today is that either the system is broken or the system is working the way it was intended to work.
Yeah. Can I just say this before we even get into that? My feeling is that this 10 years will probably be, and I don't know this for sure. Again, I'm not a lawyer, whatever. I'm not an expert in Texas law.
She's eligible
It'll
for parole
probably
in
be
5.
Yeah, okay. So,
She's eligible. She can first apply for parole in 5.
unless you are
She
doing
gets-
heinous acts like killing other people while in prison, you're probably going to get out in 5 to 6.
It's
Right?
5 before she can even appear for before a parole board. She gets credit for time served. So in theory, if she was behind bars for a year, which I think she was bonded out immediately, so she's still going to have to do technically at least 5. I don't know if they put good time behavior for murder or whatever. So I mean, I thought Texas was supposed to be hard on punishment or whatever, but I guess there's still some patchwork that needs to be done in certain cases.
How do you, as a community, Dallas, feel safe with a murderer going to be back on the streets in 2024?
now?
You know,
Dallas is different. it's unique in a way because they, on the other side of the coin, it had a tragedy where their officers were being attacked in the street or whatever. That
Terrible.
was about 2-3 years ago, where that guy was just taking out police officers.
Yeah. Fucked up murdering too.
Yes,
Absolutely. I'm not defending that one bit.
Right. So I don't. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
What was
in
his
that-
sentence though? I can't remember. Did he die on the scene?
They blew him up. Remember?
Yeah, that's right. Okay,
They sent a robot in
That's
to
right,
fucking
yeah.
blow up.
Good.
Borderlands style.
They sent in Claptrap. They told him a badass
They
joke
sent in
before.
Claptrap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi,
Yeah.
I am Claptrap.
C4 trap. Clap C4 trap.
Bye.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there were no stairs in the building. Claptrap could fucking easily.
Stairs, no.
Yeah. So
Damn.
it's they don't really. I don't know if they have that sort of anti-police sentiment where some country, like some cities in America, do because of the incident that happened against that police department per se. I do know they've had some issues recruiting and getting officers to actually work for that police department just because of finances and everything. So that community, in terms of like their, how the public perceives their police officers, and just in general, I think is very unique in terms of a lot of other cities. Like if this were to happen in like LA or Chicago or Baltimore, for example, this happened in like Baltimore,
Yeah,
there'd be
good point.
problems.
Yeah.
Or Ferguson, like that Missouri, Ferguson area, there'd be some problems. Dallas is, because of the tragedy that happened recently with their police officers and other stuff, it's going to be interesting to see how it's perceived publicly by that media and that community.
But even the PD, nobody's defending this chick, right? At least publicly that I know.
I
Like,
know
officially.
well, I mean,
Am I wrong on
it's
that?
part of the defense to her defense to have people testify as like expert witnesses and
Okay.
character witnesses. So there were people.
I'll be like, yeah, call me. Yeah, she fucked up.
Yeah. So I mean,
Fucking married guys shooting motherfuckers in their own home.
yeah, 'cause I mean,
Deleting evidence and
Yeah,
shit.
this ain't the one to be, kind of the
Call for
poster
help.
girl.
yeah. So I mean, it's a metropolitan city. So
Yeah.
you're gonna find your good officers and your bad officers in that police department. Some that are gonna be like, she's a great officer I worked with. Some that I'm sure weren't at trial and won't say publicly, be like, yeah, this bitch is dumb or whatever.
I'm sure.
I'm very sure. I mean, I know that. I know Mr. X knows some police officers that are fucking just dumb as fucking rocks
Yeah.
and shouldn't be on the fucking street.
Yeah.
That goes with anywhere. I guess
Any
some
job,
dumbass
anywhere.
Marines.
Yeah, doctors, I'm sure say the same.
Doctors,
Dentists.
lawyers, judges,
Yeah.
presidents.
Yeah.
There's bad fucking people that do certain jobs. I mean,
Yeah.
we know that.
Yeah.
So, hey,
That's
we'll
it.
fucking see.
Yeah, that's an interesting fucking. If this was reversed, dude would have been
Oh,
25 years.
50 years.
Yeah.
50.
Yeah, man. Look, to be 28 years old, he doesn't seem like he has, not that this matters, because again, he was in his own home. It doesn't even seem like he had any criminal, bad behavior. This guy seemed like he was squeaky clean.
He was an accountant.
Yeah,
Didn't
accountant.
matter. Yeah.
Not that it
Yeah,
mattered. Again,
yeah.
not that it fucking mattered, because again, in your own home, squeaky clean guy, prime of his life, 28 years old, scratching his balls, trying to, wait. I don't know why his door was ajar, but that's not an issue either. Kronos' door is ajar, so we can come in to do the podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I
Maybe,
mean?
maybe it was hot that day.
Yeah, exactly.
Texas.
Yeah.
know?
Getting a breeze going through it.
Fucking damn it. All right. We got to get into, because I don't want to fucking miss this. It's a hard transition, but goddamn Demon Slayers ended. What y'all thinking about? You looking weird, Blue. Did you see it?
Yeah, I did see it.
Okay.
Oh man, it was. God damn, it was a good episode. The beginning had me kind of fucked up because I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah, I thought it started playing in like the middle of the episode. I'm like, fuck, did I miss something? I hit rewind. I was like, this is the beginning. What the fuck?
I should have just called this "Death to Cucks" because basically this fucking dude, what's his name, Mizzou something, basically the main bad guy.
Yeah.
He was just like, "Fuck all you cuck motherfuckers that ain't killing these humans and ain't killing these fucking demon slayers."
These are the lower 6 of the
Yeah.
12. But
Bruh.
the big news is our Michael Jackson thriller, our Moonwalker version of a vampire is actually
Well, he went full Michael Jackson. He turned fucking full female.
full female in a kimono, and I was like, "Who's this bitch? I've never seen her before. What's
Yeah,
going
me
on
neither.
The
here?"
eyes though, I was
Yeah, I
like,
was
the
like,
eyes are like his, but
Yeah, I was like, "Is that his sister? Is that his mama? Who the fuck is this?" Oh, he had a sex change in between the episodes.
What else? Yeah, so this one apparently happened like three years earlier before the murders of what's the name's family. I think that's what it said in the beginning.
Oh, I fucking missed that. If that's what it said, I thought this was
I know there was a time jump.
okay.
Yeah, there was a time jump forward or whatever.
Okay.
think that's how it works.
Yeah, but he just went through and he was like, basically, let me hear your excuses. Fuck that. Fuck your excuses. I can read your mind. You're gonna fucking die. I was like, dude.
And the dude,
You gotta try to run.
he was like, I know I'm fucking dead. Maybe I can run fast enough. And it's already in this Matrix Inception world that's upside down Japanese villages on top of Japanese villages in this anti-gravity like maze, vertical maze of 360 degrees.
It was like an Escher fucking drawing.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically, that always moved.
And he tried to outrun it.
Yeah,
and he was like,
no.
this ain't gonna end well for you.
Well, it's funny because dude was booking it like he was like maybe a good like 5 football fields away, but all of a sudden he was like, wait, what happened? His head's just fucking dangling, and dude just had his head in his fucking hand.
He's like, wait a minute, I can't regenerate my body. I think I'm about to die.
This is after he just watched this dude. He watched like 3 other people just get eaten, like literally fucking eaten.
Yep.
And then burped.
Wrong answer.
Yeah.
You gonna die, or even wrong thought. You gonna die.
That shit was fucking. And what was so crazy about it too was that like, the last person was like, you know what? If I'm gonna die, it's gonna be cool dying by your fucking hand. He's like, I like your answer. And then he gave him his blood, and dude was like fucking basically
It was a
dying
girl,
himself. Oh yeah, it was a girl. But no, it's dude.
Dude, I thought that was a girl.
Ow.
Kronos, give us a ruling. The one who got the blood, wasn't that a girl at the
It was a
end?
guy.
It was very ambiguous.
Yeah, because the voice,
I couldn't
the voice
tell.
threw me off.
Yeah.
I watched too much food.
It
'Cause
looked,
It's like what's her name?
The pig-
Amber, not Amber. What the fuck's Ruby Rose?
Yeah.
Like her in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
suit, she has very masculine features, but you can tell it's a girl.
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
thought it was a girl.
Yeah.
but
I
this
thought it
character
was
had like
girl, too,
a
just
You never know in 2019.
Yeah.
this character had like a bit of a. I had a bit of a guyish voice, so it's like I couldn't like. At first I thought it was a girl, but then once he started speaking, I thought it was a guy. But then it was like I don't know what the fuck's going on because the main bad guy is a female now, so I don't know what the fuck's going on. And we got a pig guy who I thought was a girl. When he took off his mask, I was like, "Oh shit, is it a chick?"
Oh,
I was
'cause
like,
you-
"No, he's been walking around with no shirt on. It can't be a girl. It's a guy."
Malik
Yeah.
Yoba likes them all. Don't
Oh.
judge. Don't judge.
I think you were just looking at Jessica Negri stuff because she cosplayed with her titties all out.
Jessica brought it as Inusuke. Inusuke, how do you pronounce it? The Abor? Inusuke? Inusuke?
Inosuke?
Yeah.
Inosuke, I think.
Yeah. Jessica Negri's cosplay. Just perky ass titties all out, bare chested and shit. Ooh. Anyway, yeah, this was a fantastic episode. And then we finally get the girl who was doing some of the training with Tanjiro.
Tanjiro. Yeah.
Tanjiro. She speaks.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Which I was surprised about, but we
Yeah.
learned why she doesn't speak.
Yeah,
Or-
because she's been traumatized as a youth and got adopted by the Demon Slayer people. And
well, she didn't get adopted. They
bought her.
They basically saved her life by buying her because her parents sold her for I guess money for food or some shit. But
child
like,
slavery.
But like the parents weren't even treating her that well either. Anyway, dad just fucking kicked her because he was fucking mad and shit. She didn't know how to live. Like she only can live by somebody ordering her to live. And like I guess even when she was training to be a demon slayer, like she would do whatever they say. Like it wasn't like she wouldn't eat, like they would give her food, but she wouldn't eat until they told her like, okay, you can go ahead and eat.
Yeah, so they had her flip a coin for any decision she had to make.
Yep.
She's basically
So-
Two-Face.
Yeah,
exactly.
basically. But a really, really murderous Two-Face. I mean, she could kill some motherfuckers. But yeah, so the reason why she decided to talk to him is because she flipped a coin. And then that's why she decided to talk.
You can't help but fucking root for her and Tanjiro. Just the whole squad, man. You want them to fucking succeed. I
And
love him
fucking-
leveling up with
what's
the
the yellow
constant
hair
breathing.
guy. The yellow hair
Yeah.
guy. That's my dude. Even though he's annoying as shit.
I love him.
But he's hella funny, man.
All three, even
Yeah.
with Inosuke, it's just they have a great team, and it just seems like this is the beginning of their adventure. You know what I mean? Because it ends on a cliffhanger. I know we're getting a movie.
Yeah,
later.
it goes right into the movie.
Yeah.
Apparently. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you stay past the credit, it talks about how like, oh yeah, the next part's gonna be the movie. And keep it up
An
with it.
Infinite Train or something like that.
Yeah, but I also love. I didn't, even though they've shown like a modern city when we first saw Moonwalker Vampire in that city a while ago.
It's in the Industrial Revolution. it looks
Yeah,
like. It's-
I had forgotten that
Yeah,
scene. So when I
yeah.
saw a train, I was like, "Oh yeah," because
Yeah.
most of the stuff you're seeing is kind of feudal Japan
Yeah.
in the countryside and whatnot, and you don't see a whole lot of technology.
Yeah.
But those motherfuckers see a train and they're just like, "What is this fucking iron beast?"
Yeah, he was trying to kill it and shit.
Yeah, man.
Inosuke.
Well,
Boy's head guy.
what's the name? Everybody else knew what it was, but Nosuke did not know because he's fucking savage.
Tanjiro
basically.
seemed a little off
Yeah, I
too.
didn't know it either. 'Cause
Well, no,
he's a country bumpkin.
No, I think he was saying not to get homeboy to calm the fuck down because I think Tanjiro knows how to fucking play wasn't like a fucking puppet. So he's like, oh, how do you know it's not like a spiritual animal that's gonna take us somewhere far or something like that? So I think it was just fucking with them
That's fucking hilarious.
to get them to calm the
man.
fuck down. But that's the scene where when they get their new swords, and
Yeah.
dude's like
Oh.
takes a fucking rock and start beating the shit out of it to make it serrated or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was fucking funny.
There is, I gotta look up this fucking. There is a phrase for when they go from like the super detailed traditional anime art to like that. You know what I'm
yeah,
talking
I know
about? To
what you're
that
talking like
kiddie
simplistic,
version.
yeah.
Simplistic version, and it's always funny as shit, especially in this show.
Especially with that one, the yellow-haired guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, it's fucking.
What the fuck's the
great.
yellow-haired guy's name? I forget.
Yeah, the blonde, the only blonde on the show.
Yeah.
But this is a great anime. I know it's gonna go on Golden Eggplant nominee, and we'll fucking see. But this has been a great year for anime. This is one of the best.
Yeah, like I I liked the relationship between Tanjiro and the butterfly chick because
Yeah,
they got a little bit of a chemistry going on there because it's just I want to see them fuck.
Dude, I want to see the love one, the one that got the cleavage, the titties out, and the braids, with the pink and the green going on.
Like she's thirsty for everybody.
Yeah, they already got cosplay of them. Good old, big old titties out.
Zenitsu.
Yeah, that's him, the blonde dude.
Well,
Great show.
I like kind of jumping to him. I love how the girls, the little house maidens, tell them at the end like, hey, yeah, you know, you should stop being less creepy and start being more more nice to girls and such like that. Like you should need to be a true gentleman or whatever like that. I thought that was fucking funny that they did that.
Yeah, it's a world class show, man. I'm digging it. And then the other great thing is, Toonami's about to air all the episodes of the first. I think it's 26 episodes of season 1
Yeah.
coming up in here in October. So it's right around the pipe.
Yeah.
I-
Go ahead.
It's gonna be dubbed or subbed.
It's gonna be dubbed for
They
Toonami.
don't fucking subtitle shit.
Well, they did. There was stuff. Man.
For Toonami?
Yeah,
I was about to say.
No,
It's
I
always
think
dubbed.
there was one show they did. Well, no, I think they did like a series where they did it dubbed just to say like, oh yeah, you can watch this now dub or whatever or subbed. I don't know.
I mean, you can put anything on sub. You just put closed captioning on it, subtitled.
There you go.
So I was watching. Dr. Stone is on Toonami now. And so I got came back into it. And she really likes it.
Nice.
So it's a good anime.
One of my favorite things about that, and I'm behind. I'm only on like 6 or 7. It is a great one, but they actually tell you how to make gunpowder.
Yeah,
That's
like real shit.
Yeah, and then they tell you, hey kids, don't do this at home. This is real. This is the actual chemistry for it. Don't do this shit. Don't blow up anything.
Everything in the show is like real.
Yeah,
Like the way
legit.
all the science they're doing is like real shit.
Yeah, there's some lessons. You know what I mean? It's teaching you shit. And then even Fire Force, you learn a little bit about fire. You know what I mean? In terms of the chemical compounds that make different types of fire or whatever. So we're learning with anime, goddammit.
Well, on Verve they have the next episode for Demon Slayer. It's called New Mission.
Maybe that's
It says on there coming soon.
maybe
So
that's the movie you're dropping soon.
maybe.
Anyway, they got a plan with this one, and it's super popular now.
I was really surprised when we went to Fanime,
Mhm.
where somebody cosplay as
Tanjiro.
Tanjiro.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I
like
was like,
already, yeah.
what the fuck? This is like the first episode just dropped this weekend, and somebody's already
Yeah.
cosplaying. I was like, oh yeah.
So
they're
this is
all-
where somebody's already gonna.
there's
If you
manga.
listen to this podcast, people are like, "Oh, they don't read the fucking manga." No, we fucking didn't, bitch.
Nope.
We didn't read the manga. All right.
No,
Goddamn.
we're not that those kind of weebs, you know.
Yeah.
yeah.
We
So-
got fucking lives and families and shit.
I think the most impressive is, as far as cosplay go, jump on Blue's thing, was when Kronos and I went to Comic-Con, someone dressed as Homelander, and that hadn't even aired yet.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
impressive.
But then again, it is a comic, so...
That's
but,
true. That's
but
true.
I don't know how long the comic was out, but, I mean, he looked like the actor himself. That's what got me. He had his hair come the same way. He had the same build and everything. We sat right behind him when we were watching the first 2 episodes, so that blew me away.
That's fucking awesome. Now, Kronos, did you ever catch the Carol and Tuesday? Any of
Not
those?
yet, not
Not yet.
yet.
Okay.
I did. I finished watching Cannon Busters.
Oh,
Nice,
there
okay.
we go. What
Yeah.
do you think?
So I thought it was pretty good. I liked like the whole like Cowboy Bebop / like Trigon
Yeah.
storyline that they were doing. I thought that was pretty fucking dope, and like the fact that like season 2 is pretty much gonna. It also makes me think of Mad Max too, because like
Oh, yeah.
Mad Max Fury Road, how they get to the location and like they just fucking go back. And
Yeah.
basically, that's how they're gonna fucking do again. But like the scene with like his bull mech getting his head ripped off and shit.
Oh,
I
yeah,
was like,
that was
fuck.
crazy.
But it was so funny at the end. He's like, wait, how are you gonna get there? I have my fucking car. I
Yeah.
thought that was fucking cool, but yeah, I thought it was pretty cool, and like him being immortal and like all this fucking crazy shit happening. It was pretty good. I was highly entertained.
That
Good shit.
intro was hitting.
That's a banger right
Dude,
there.
that like the intro, I was like, is that Riri singing the
Yep.
song?
Sound like it.
Whoever performs it sounds just like her. I'm not sure if they were going for that, but
That's actually
they nailed it.
ask me the MBTI question. Warrior Fellow was asking us, what anime themes do we not skip? For me, it's the intro for Cowboy Bebop and the outro for Samurai Champloo. The Song of Four Seasons I listen to all the fucking time. There's a bunch of other ones too, but those are probably my top. Oh, and the second intro for Death Note.
Oh, that's a good one. I
Yeah,
know
it's
what you're talking
another one.
about.
It's called What's Up People
Yeah.
by Maximum the Hormone.
For me, I'm gonna go and I'll do outro first on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind, which is part 5. When they and I know I've talked about it before. When they fucking aired the Jodeci Freak in You as an outro, I fucking lost it. I've never heard an anime do anything like that. Obviously, I know the song because I grew up with it and shit. But that was the coolest shout out I'd ever seen. And then, of course, on again another JoJo, the intro for part 1 where he goes Sono Chino Sarame and he's screaming and whatnot. It's just a great fucking intro song.
I didn't even know that people in Japan even knew who the fuck Jodeci was.
Yeah, exactly. Well, here's the thing. Araki Sensei is just a American pop music fan. Like, he deeply loves fucking music. And that's what's so cool. But Jodeci, I always thought was an American R&B band that just kind of had a lot of American fans from the 90s.
Yeah,
like,
did they go on world tours? I mean,
Yeah,
have
I
they ever?
mean, maybe, you know. But that was hilariously awesome.
What if they're
as a
going on
shout-out.
tour now? What if they're popular again?
Yeah, they're huge in Japan again.
They do the throwback tours.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they come. Didn't Mishka go? I'm pretty sure.
Jodeci's not even back together again. Are they?
I feel like one of them got to be dead.
Oh yeah.
Like, there was a lot of cocaine going
Just
on.
Casey and JoJo, right?
Oh
Yeah,
no,
they had a solo album.
They did.
There are no Jodeci dates coming up.
Surprise, surprise. It's not 1994 anymore.
Yeah, in vogue.
God.
Actually, I don't skip some of the the Ruby intros because some of those are actually I mean some of them hit pretty tough. They do different genres, different for each season. There's a different genre intro, almost, and a lot of those I don't really skip because they do a lot of cool shit. And then I wasn't skipping Cannon Busters.
Yeah,
that was
good.
that was on hit too. And then season 1 of Attack on Titan, their intro was hit, but then season 2 wasn't all that. Season 3 wasn't that great either. So
Good shit. Anybody else got it? I know you
No,
don't go crazy
yeah,
about
I
it.
just remember the Death Note one was really good. I didn't know what season was, but I'm sure it's the same one Kronos was.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, I always listen to it just because it's especially when they change seasons, it's something different and
Yeah.
unique. So I always enjoy it.
Shout out to the Naruto Shippuden ones too. So
Yeah, that's a good one.
far those are really, really good. And I met
Yeah.
one of the composers at Crunchyroll that did a lot of those theme songs, and we already talked about him. He's a super duper rock star.
There's one though that makes me sad. It's the one with what does it say? It's like something about his bleeding pain, and it's him and it's Jiraiya doing the ice cream thing.
Oh, I don't think
with
I've
the-
gotten to that one yet.
Once you get there, you'll understand. Like what after that, you see there's part of the story you might cry about.
Damn,
but it's
yeah.
the one with the popsicle. We have two
Okay.
popsicles, and that's when you know shit's gonna happen really drastically in the show, and it's fucked up.
Yeah.
can we talk about some gaming? 'Cause
Wait, before that, so my
lot of shit.
shows. So
dang.
this,
thought
I'm
you
gonna be basic big with this one, but
You say Robotech.
no, I hate that. I don't like the Robotech one. The one for the American intro for fucking Dragon Ball Z, the Dragon, some of the Dragon Ball Z, ow! Like that shit gets you fucking hyped. But then again, when that came out, you really couldn't fucking fast forward, so you had to fucking watch it.
Forced.
Yeah, you were fucking forced to watch that.
You could tape it and then fast forward it. But
Yeah, I guess yeah.
On
Or
VHS.
bought
adjust
on
the
VHS.
tracking a little bit, you know.
But for current anime, shit, I can't even think of anything. Yeah, I can think of it as Dragon Ball Z because that one just makes. Because I would say, I would say Death Note too, but you guys already said that one. Then I also thought Cowboy Bebop, but we already did that one too. Because all those have dope
ones.
rap beats,
Yep.
intros
Yeah.
and shit like that. So yeah, I have to go with those.
Well, the intro to Samurai Champloo is really good too because it's
Yeah.
it's hip hop, and that's when they do I love that show because when they do the mixing of the music with they do scratching, and it scratches the video too.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
I will say this for Carol and Tuesday, again, another Shinichiro Watanabe one. Music is obviously the huge theme of it, and everybody loves the sound, even though it's not traditionally hip hop, most of it. but the singer-songwriter combination, it's just gonna work. And that intro is good too.
Yeah, I mean, what was it? Samurai Champloo was, not Samurai Champloo. Cowboy Bebop was all jazz.
Yeah.
So, and that was a fantastic soundtrack.
Yeah, and even Machiko and Hatchin had the Brazilian jazz.
Yeah.
You know, which is good.
Yeah,
There's Boondocks too. Boondocks had a great intro.
Oh, that was a good intro.
Too.
Dude,
Cowboy
we're
Cowboy
getting new
Bebop
Boondocks.
had that like oh shit, I just lost my train of thought. They had I know you said they had a jazzy intro, but it was like James Bondish kind of intro,
Yeah,
like
with like
their
the
beats. Yeah.
squares and the rectangles and the colors and shit. Yeah.
Good shit. Where were you gonna go, Ninja? You said
Games.
gaming.
Gaming.
All right.
Has anybody had a chance to play Mario Kart Mobile?
Yes, I have.
Is it like Mario Kart on your phone where you can just
Yeah.
drive in your car and just go places?
Oh
Yeah.
no! You
Fucking hit people, get points.
Oh man, that'd be
Throw
fucked up.
fucking your coffee out of windows.
That'd be fucking
Banana
chaos.
pills.
So apparently it's free for
The
a
first
certain
level.
amount of CCs, yeah, and then you gotta pay for like the super fast kind of stuff. In order to play, you have to sign up with Nintendo's like services or whatever. I mean, you have to create an account. It's free. If you own a Switch, then use the same account. It's free. But
Yeah.
I mean, I downloaded it to my phone, but I don't have a Switch or a Nintendo account, so I haven't used it yet.
Oh. Well,
So,
you brought it up. You haven't fucking played it, bro.
well, I just asked if anyone played it.
Yes, I played it.
Okay.
Visually, it looks really cool. I mean, it looks like a Mario Kart game, which isn't hard. It's a Nintendo game. They're not known for their visual prowess. But I gotta tell you, like, I like to drift around. They give you two options, doing like normal driving and then drifting. And the drifting is just not there. Because like when you every time you like swipe to turn or whatever, it starts to drift, and I'm just like, I just want to turn a little bit. I don't want to like drift. So it's like super fucking annoying.
Oh, you can't tilt the the actual
No,
phone.
so you're actually when you're holding your phone, I'm holding my phone, and you're moving like this back and forth, right?
Oh.
To like turn, and then when you want to use an item, you swipe up or swipe down to use the item. But the problem is that when you're drifting, if you just go a little bit to the right, it'll automatically it'll jump and then start
Gotcha.
drifting, and I'm just like, I don't want to drift. I just want to turn a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to like calculate everything like way too far ahead in the future to like do anything.
Is it the equivalent of the most recent Mario Kart?
No. As far as graphics, or how as far as what goes?
Like, is it just like almost like a port of the most recent Mario Kart?
It looks. It's not an exact port. No,
Oh.
I can tell you that. Let me see if I can pull it up while you talk for a minute. I'll pull it up so you can see.
So
It's a light version of the game.
Yeah, that's fine.
But
I
it-
mean,
it
that's good
has-
but you don't have to pull it up.
Well, no, I can show you like what I'm talking about. But I mean, it looks really good.
Okay.
You know, I just maybe it's just my phone or something. But like the drift mode thing was just like because I watched the IGN review and the guy said it takes a while to get used to, but I'm like, okay, I'm not retarded. You know, it shouldn't take me this long to get used to anything. So like, see, I mean, it looks pretty good. And I'll use like the drift mode so you can see what I'm talking about.
he's actually demoing the
Yeah.
game.
So nobody else can see this.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'll move left or right and see how like
Oh,
automatic-
extra
Yeah,
drift.
see, and I have to come back.
Yeah.
So when I'm going around a corner, it's fine, sort of.
He's just
Right.
swiping left and right. Guys.
Yeah, but it's just like right here, like on a long corner, it's fine.
But when you got to do a sharp turn.
Yeah, or when you have switchbacks too, it's like super difficult.
Yeah.
So like right here, I just want to turn a little bit, but he starts drifting. See, and I want to turn some more, he starts drifting. It's
Yeah.
like you can't really. It's hard for you to go like straight.
I would want a controller.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah. But anyway, I mean, but it looks good.
Yeah.
So the controls are a little not
A little
refined.
wonky. I think
I
if
wanna
you-
use my car.
I think if you use simple controls, it'd probably be better. You know, actually, they should do like the Pokemon Go thing, but for your car,
Yeah, right.
for Mario Kart. You know what I mean? But obviously, don't kill yourself. But
I'll be speeding down the road.
All right. Obviously, we're still all playing Borderlands 3.
Yeah, there's a couple of games updated with some big content, like Destiny. Destiny 2 dropped some new content, which was interesting because if you, at least on PlayStation, you got the Forsaken stuff for free, which was a $40, like a $35 buy.
Oh,
So
on
if
one of those PS Plus.
I don't know if it's. I think it's if you own the game outright,
Okay.
and you did not own the content before, Bungie just gave it to you.
Okay.
So pretty much like if you didn't own the season pass or the Forsaken content, you were given it all in yesterday's update.
Destiny is like, well, I mean, they lost. Borderlands 3 is out. Goddammit.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody playing fucking Destiny.
I mean,
Hey, there's gonna be
there's still
there's
people
gonna be
playing.
people go. What is it? Shadow what?
Shadowkeep.
Shadowkeep.
Shadowkeep is a new update, which is like it's like a.
But I'm sorry. Hold on. Does it cost or not?
It does cost.
Okay.
So everything before that, like the season pass, it had the Black Armory, which was a raid, which you had to pay for before. It was like $15 or something. That's free now because I was playing it yesterday. But the Shadowkeep to play that new content, the new raid and whatnot, it's like $35, but apparently it's like a whole new game or whatever.
I've been fooled by some of these updates before.
Exactly. But I mean, with the content that they've released up until now, there's a lot of shit there, especially if you didn't own it beforehand.
A lot of shit is relative.
Yeah.
Sometimes the hardcore Destiny heads will love anything Destiny puts out. There's no fucking doubt about that. What I expect for $35 and what they expect for $35 are two different things sometimes.
Well, especially the first game. What I wanted for $60 wasn't what they gave me. They gave me 8 hours of gameplay.
Yeah, 4 to 5 hours of gameplay on D1. There's no doubt about it. D2 had a longer campaign. I'll give them credit.
Longer. But this is also content post Activision. This is all Bungie, no Activision influence.
And it's out next week, right?
It's out now.
Oh, it's okay.
It dropped Tuesday, and then Apex Legends dropped with new content.
You still playing that one?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course.
New character.
Yeah. There's a new character and a whole new map. You leave the old planet and you go to a whole new planet with new maps. There's more like environmental dangers. Okay. There's a train on the fucking map where you can traverse the map with that has goods. There's also like a treasure trove. You need to hack the door to get into. So I guess you need to find clues because I don't know how to get in. I got to the door, I couldn't get in, and it tells you it's
just
some
like today.
That's because of you, Oathbreaker. But yeah, you got to find your way to get into this treasure trove area, and then there's like there's a lava pits and there's like an ice area. Both areas can kill you if you're not paying attention. So
lava can kill you.
Yeah,
Old
so
ninja.
Words of wisdom.
Yeah, so I mean, well, usually in the games before, you couldn't die unless you jumped off the map. Now there's like actual hazards.
Was there lava in the other parts of the game?
No, there's not.
I don't know a single game where lava helps you. Stitch, get in here. I thought you played a little bit of Ghost Recon.
Yes. Well, I just want before I forgot, I did see that I guess PlayStation Plus is reducing the price to
now.
PlayStation Now.
Now.
PlayStation Now. Oh, my bad.
Not Plus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Scratch that then. Yes, the beta came out for Ghost Recon Breakpoint. It's sort of the sequel for Wildlands.
Yep.
I think for the most part we all played a little bit of Wildlands.
I didn't play it. I never picked up
I
on it.
played the alpha.
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry. Well, alpha for both. Yeah.
Okay.
I played alpha for Breakpoint and Wildlands.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I do remember playing you. Yeah, with you on that. I enjoyed Wildlands. Wildlands was fun. I enjoyed the campaign. It was long, but it wasn't really like tedious and stuff. There was a lot of missions. The map was huge. You were going all over the place, dealing with stuff, and it's a little bit more of that with this game. However, there's this new group called like the Wolves that will hunt you down and stuff. So in the first one, where you're mainly just going from cartel stash houses and mansions and stuff and trying to set up and do recon, take out the people and just eliminate everything going on. There'll be like a predator drone that will randomly fly overhead, and that means that they're coming. So you got
this is AI.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The drone you'll see it come on the map, and it's like you got to duck down, bury yourself, stop moving, because then if the predator drone sees you, your HUD gets all scrambled out, and these wolves, it's like a team of like 5 or 6 of them will just sort of appear randomly on the map, and they will just instantly like mow you down, just like to the chest, one to the head style or whatever.
God damn.
So it's like even when there'll be little faction groups of them on the map where you can go try to take out their little like outposts and stuff.
Okay.
And you got to make sure you do it in a very strategic fashion, because the AI for them is really, really advanced and smart.
Just throw some grenades,
Oh,
man.
okay.
That's all you need to do.
Okay.
You know that.
And learn all them. That's how you die
You're gonna
with your
find out
Leroy
real
Jenkins.
quick. You're gonna find out real quick. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. The game comes out fully, I believe, tomorrow into Friday.
Oh shit,
Some
really?
folks, some folks already have it. I mean, Dirty Stu's already got it.
Oh, that's
you
right.
have the-
He's
you-
in Scotland though.
You get the 3 if you do the what was that game that just recently? I think with the Division.
You get 3 days in
Yeah,
advance. So
yeah. If you get it, like, yeah. So it's I plan on getting it. Been playing Borderlands. Borderlands fun. I just recently beat the game.
Nice.
So I'm going through doing some of the extra stuff, side missions with the character.
You're in the
so.
end game stuff, right? Where you get like the mayhem modes and
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
They
what
did
I
a really
just
good
started.
job. Have you found like the trials yet? No.
the-
I guess
okay.
not.
Is it, wait, is that
That's a
the
no phase.
Is that the cistern stuff? The cistern?
No.
Okay.
It's like where you have to find like these special like things, and you have to find trials. They're basically like these like the little translation stone thing.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
yeah.
But-
I've seen those and decrypted a couple of them, but I haven't gone to actually do the whatever the fuck that
Well,
it's telling me to do.
Sometimes it's just like they just give you iridium, which is fine, like a little story. But sometimes they're trials.
Okay.
And the trials are kind of a motherfucker because they're timed, and you get bonus shit for like getting it in a certain time,
Nice.
completing extra stuff, and like the guys there are pretty legit.
Okay.
So like the first time I went, the first two were easy, and the second one, the third one, I started getting fucking mollywopped. And that's when I saw that Zane has like a serious problem in the end game.
Oh.
Where like I wasn't doing enough damage. Like I was literally running out of fucking bullets.
Shit, you're almost you're ranked 50 though.
I'm
Isn't that the
50,
level
yeah.
cap?
Yeah, I'm at the level cap, and I'm just like I'm not doing
Damn.
enough damage.
Shit.
So. I think it kind of rectified it because you saw me playing today, and I was doing damage today.
Yeah.
But there's some parts of the game where just like I can't. It's really hard for me to kill anybody.
Are they buffing him or was it nerfing him?
They had to buff him
Okay.
because like both his digiclone and his like drone thing, they weren't doing enough damage, and so I ended up dropping the digiclone for like the shield because there's extra like damage dealing on the shield skill tree, and the drone skill tree. So
Okay.
I don't know, just kind of I mean that helped, but I'm playing as Flak now. So I just restarted the
Oh
game.
man,
And it's like
I feel like he's cheating.
yeah, it's way easier.
Got it.
way-
I might have to switch to him.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
so
it's
good.
way
Playthrough.
easier.
He's so good.
Because you always have somebody like going. Basically, you have a drone that does like it moves around, just does everything all the time.
Yeah,
So
that's what
it's
it
just
looks like.
Yeah,
But if you have the Goku monkey, if you shoot, he shoots, which is great.
That's awesome.
So I mean, depending on when you upgrade him, he either has the pistol, the shotgun, or a SMG.
Dude, for the very first time in the last 4 or 5 years, I actually played with Blue.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Squad up
which
with you
was
guys.
nice. So I want to still squad up some more. Even
we
though
need to have
yeah,
a
I haven't
full
squad-
squad. Full squad.
Well, it can't be full. It's a
Or
four-player
four-player.
game, you dumb fuck.
Well, full squad compared to two of us versus two randoms.
yeah,
or
we'll
whatever.
do 4. We've done
Dickhead.
3. We've done 3 a few times. So
Yeah.
we'll have to coordinate. Maybe even Thursday, Friday. I'm out of town, but
Yeah,
Thursday maybe.
That was a lot of fun. It's been a while since I squad up with other people online because usually like I was living with the in-laws, so I didn't have space to be able to do stuff. But it was definitely fun, and like I thought I selected the skill tree, or not the skill tree, but the gameplay mode where where I leveled up faster because your guys are higher up. Like I'll level up faster, but apparently I didn't choose that one. I chose the one where like my damage does the same amount of damage as your damage, which was cool because like when I used my abilities, like it actually helped out.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I fucking did it and all of a sudden the bad guy breaks out of my fucking bubble or whatever.
Trying to ice skate up. Oh.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, it was still a lot of fun, and I got some great fucking weapons.
Yeah, Carlos hooked us up.
And I was grabbing weapons that were 50, that was for level 50s, and I took them because they were worth like $20,000 or whatever.
Yeah, there you
and
go.
it basically like tripled the amount of money I had in my fucking account.
yeah. Once you get like the gun that shoots guns, you can get as much money as you want.
Yep.
So like if I wanted to, I could just sit there and just spit out guns and keep reselling them.
That's awesome. I know we had a question that came through email for Stitch. Are we ready? Didn't you mention that in the chat earlier today?
I did.
I thought so. Did I see
I
that
didn't-
wrong?
I have no
When
idea.
there's a Stitch question?
In an email?
Ow.
An email?
Shit, I thought it was. Fuck. Okay. Maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe
Maybe I'm
we-
wrong. I
we've-
thought it was a B than BTI or something like that.
We've answered a few. Oh, it might have been a question that Stitch wanted to put on all of us.
What?
I'm confused. Someone hacked my accounts and emails?
Yeah,
Okay,
but that
hold
was like I think that was like a week or so ago. I mean,
earlier today.
did we answer
Keep
the
going.
one? Did we answer the one about the bionic arm and shit? Or
No.
I threw that on there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
did
can
we
do that now.
answer?
We can do that now.
So I threw on this question on there. It's like, would you chop off your arm? I feel like we might have done this one before, but would you chop off your arm if you knew that you would get a cybernetic or cyborg arm to replace it?
Well, Ninja and I were talking about this over a couple beers like last week, and or is it just the skeleton like the Terminator thing with no skin grafted over it, so it would just look like a robot arm, or would there
It'll
be
look like your arm.
it would look like my arm, but
Yeah, but it'll do cool shit.
yeah, I guess that wouldn't be an issue. I wouldn't have a problem with
But
that.
you wouldn't like have feeling or
I wouldn't
anything.
have. Well, that's an issue.
Yeah.
So when you said chop off your arm, like how we doing? Are we doing like guillotine style, or do I have to like take a fucking saw or like
Or-
a rusty spoon or
like
some
anesthesia.
shit?
yeah, did it blow off or something? Just,
I don't know. Fucking however you want it to
I
happen.
mean that would really depend on like, cause if I gotta like take a saw to my arm, no. But if I'm just like tossing a guillotine and there's medical staff on site, yeah, I can pull a fucking trigger. You know what I mean? Fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm not
Okay,
trying to bleed out and die, though.
we'll do guillotine so it's nice and soft or nice and fast. There
quick.
you go.
Yeah.
I was talking about Borderlands.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay. I thought there was no. Okay.
No,
that
no,
answers
no,
it.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm saying no. I'm keeping my original parts
Yeah, then
as long as I can.
I enjoy feeling in my extremities.
I don't know. I think if the arm had like cool features, like I can always like upgrade it to like the newest fucking cell phone or some shit, like some dick chasey
Some
shit.
cyberpunk shit.
I
Yeah.
can never get armbarred again. That'd be great. Just on one arm.
Shing.
If I get Cyborg's arm, like
And you Sonic Cannon and shit.
he could do it. He could do almost anything with that fucking bad boy.
That is true.
Give me fucking Cyborg's arm, and it's on. Yeah.
You would just
Can
blow
he play
your dick
football
off.
again?
No. Well, yeah. Actually, I'd be really good at football.
Yeah.
Stiff
no.
arming motherfuckers all day.
Can he get his daddy to love him again?
No,
Oh,
that
dang.
he cannot.
Yeah, no.
That's the one
damn.
thing the art cannot do.
You
But it
end
can
up-
give you love.
Oh, no, you end up blowing off
At
or
10,000
ripping off your
at
dick.
It'd be the
10,000
stranger
RPM.
because you
Yeah.
couldn't feel it.
Yeah.
You get a detachable fucking fleshlight.
Christ.
Oh, God. Have you seen the pumpkin spice fleshlight?
Oh my
love that.
God, that's just not even.
It's probably gonna be real one of these days.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, I'm sure someone's already probably attempted it already. Oh, let me just stuff this in here and then fuck it.
You know, somebody's fucked a pumpkin before. They had to.
Oh yeah,
course.
yeah. If they fucking warm watermelons, yeah, they didn't fuck the pumpkin. Yeah.
Somebody made a pumpkin their bitch.
Yeah.
Oh,
and-
damn.
And none of these goats are safe either. Anyway,
What the fuck?
these shepherds get
Probably
cold.
name it, call it Pamela. Put
Yeah.
a face and shit on their little butthole and shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Kind of jumping back. So earlier,
Do that transition, Blue.
I had mentioned how Demon Slayer that the next episode was going to call My Mission or New Mission, but that was a recent episode was called New Mission. For some reason, my Verve account wasn't showing me like the newest episode.
Gotcha.
For some
Yeah, the
weird
movie's
fucking
coming
reason.
up. I know that.
Yeah, and then like the time skip was 3 months before they were doing their training stuff. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
That answers that.
because that's the reason why I was trying to find out when that time skip was.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get to the episode because it was showing up as a new thing. I don't know.
Oh,
What?
so that's interesting because so the guy what the main bad guy was talking about, it actually wasn't Tanjiro, it was his dad.
Ah.
So
Okay.
and he probably killed his dad,
Yep.
that guy.
Yep.
So,
Well, no, his dad was like dying of cancer or some shit.
yeah, but his dad was still strong as shit. And
Yeah,
he's
he
the one
was.
who had that fucking fire
fire
dancing
move.
Yep.
technique or whatever the fuck.
And like nobody else knows about that fire dance.
That's
either.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because
That-
that's the only person that back then had those earrings was his dad.
That's true.
So.
Gentlemen, why don't we wrap it on up? Stitch, what you got populating this week?
This week, I plan on picking up Ghost Recon, I believe. My gaming backlog's starting to get a little bit up there because I'm trying to split time between Borderlands and now Ghost Recon, so that'll be interesting but fun.
It's not the kid on the way. That's kind of taking me.
That's
Fuck them
February.
kids.
I got plenty of time. That whole thing, nursery's all set up, so I got a lot of the heavy lifting stuff aspect done with baby prep. Then other than that, going out of town next weekend for Jamie's wedding, so I'll be back down in the south. So that'll be interesting and fun. Probably eat a lot of fried food and
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
all that good shit. But yeah, just doing a good bit of gaming and hanging out.
Good shit. Old Ninja, what you got?
So I'm be gaming on like it says backlogs going because I'm playing Apex Season 3. I'm playing a little bit of Destiny 2 to find out what new content and shit because they have like finishers and shit, which is interesting. Still playing Gears 5 and then some Borderlands.
You didn't finish Gears?
No, because I'm playing the campaign with someone and they didn't play. Cake Man has Gears 5 though.
Nice.
So I'm gonna try to when he's on. I'm gonna try to hit him up, maybe play through it with him a little bit, and then I bought a new car, so I'm be like
shit, what's
driving
that? Oh,
around.
shit.
Paulo.
I bought a 2015 Malibu.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
what you wanted, all right.
Yeah, so I'm rolling around in that. I'm probably gonna like.
Are you
maybe-
picking up the bitches?
So
Big booty bitches.
Hopping out the trunk like Coolio.
oh yeah, there's a pull in the trunk. That's actually the reason why I was late because I just picked it up and then drove it straight here.
Nice.
So,
I'm gonna check it after.
but yeah, and then what else is there? Oh, I'm seeing the Joker tomorrow.
Nice.
So I'm gonna see what's up. I guess I think we may be doing a collab Possibly, maybe we'll let you know if that actually happens.
Oh, yeah.
We'll post it out there.
What are you talking about? The
Our review of the Joker. We may collab
the
with another.
collaboration.
We may do a collaboration with
is there
another.
gonna be some people that went to some college or some shit?
Yeah. Some people that troll the Oathbreaker real hard. We might be doing a collab with them.
He's got many.
Yeah, it's got too many.
Yeah, I got
trolls.
too many enemies here, man.
He's got a rogues gallery.
It's the guys we did at San Diego Comic Con. We did a podcast with them. while we were there.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
Holy shit! I didn't think about that. Yeah,
you know.
I guess I'm proudly part of the Oathbreakers Rogues Gallery for sure. Holy shit!
You're my gay black mask.
God damn! That explains you slide in my DMs.
I
Oh,
think
shit.
you've got a better rogues gallery than Miss America.
Oh,
Just saying.
damn. But yeah, other than that, that's about it.
Good shit, Blue. What you got?
So this, I'm finally gonna finish moving this weekend. I got like
right
a bunch
on.
of stuff at the Sweetness parents' house, so I'm gonna try to move as much as I can this weekend and finally be out of that house. Not like it's a bad thing, but just still, we're finally like in our place.
I mean,
doing
it's a
our
good thing to get your own fucking place.
Yeah.
Congrats.
But I probably got like the little home improvement things I want to do. Definitely playing more Borderlands 3. Hopefully we can campaign again and get that squad going. Cause
Fuck yeah.
that shit was a lot of fun. Especially, well, the one thing I had was like, I didn't know where the fuck you guys were. Like when I first joined the game, I was like, where the fuck is
The
it? Like,
maps are bigger.
Yeah,
well, no,
it's pretty big.
and like I guess I could have hit like the map button, but like one thing I noticed there are a few glitches when you're playing with multiplayer. Like the menu screen takes fucking forever. To load. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to give it a minute. And what sucks is you can't fast travel to other players.
Interesting. I didn't know. Well, this was
Yeah.
my first time playing squadding up, so I mean it was cool, and like playing with other players that had like fucking dope ass fucking weapons and shit was kind of cool. But yeah, it was overall it was a good fucking time.
Good shit. Kronos, what you got?
Worked on the Infinity base on Monday. I think it was Monday. Yeah. I took this week off
Nice.
Oh, okay.
because I worked a bunch of days in a row at work, which I usually don't do at all, and I worked on Labor Day, so I basically got this week off for sort of free. Worked on the Infinity base a little bit because we need to get the ceiling done. I just didn't know. I knew how I wanted it to look, but I just didn't know how to fucking do it.
Yeah.
So I got together with K-Mac's dad, and we figured it out. So we have a plan on how to get the ceiling in. So it's gonna take a little bit of work, but it should look pretty good when we're done. Other than that, I got my M Roadster back up and running again.
Hey,
So
there
I
you
go.
driven that shit forever, and it was fucking filthy, and there was like spiders all in my fucking engine bay. I was just like, fuck. So cleaned it up today. Got it running, but then I had to go ghetto because I had to get a new intake boot, which is just like this rubber piece. And this is the third one that I bought. And I decided just to get the OEM one because I was like, all right, I can't go wrong with the OEM one. It's gonna fucking fit. I buy it. Went to go put it on today.
Didn't fit.
It's the fucking wrong size. I'm
Oh,
like,
God damn
motherfucker,
it.
it's the fucking third one, so I have to get another one for the fourth try. But I want to go pick up K-Mac in the car because we haven't driven that car forever.
Yeah.
And so I did something hella ghetto. I just took some
Duct
duct
tape?
tape. Yeah, K-Mac's dad had like this fucking big ass. This duct tape was like this wide.
Nice.
Oh,
So I just took the duct tape and I duct taped the fucking because my old intake boot was like had holes in it. It was like
Yeah.
cracked from like just wear. So I just taped it up, hopped in the car, fucking
it
changed my
happen.
battery, did all that shit. Picked up K-Mac to have lunch with her, and on the way back, my check engine light came on, and I was like,
Ah, shit.
"Fuck!" So I'm driving. I have like one of
mode?
those. No. It was driving fine.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, it's probably. I didn't know what it was. I'm like, but it's driving fine, so I'll be fine.
Yeah.
So I have like one of those readers, and I drove home, did some stuff, and then went back to K-Mac's parents' place, which is where my car is. And I read the codes, and the code was basically that it thought it had an air leak from like the evap thing, but basically it's because I fucking taped it.
Yeah.
There's a leak
Gotcha.
in there's a leak in the tape.
It was a
So-
ghetto code.
Yeah,
Like-
so I'm like, once I get the right fucking intake boot, it'll be fine. So.
Good shit. Shout out to the San Francisco Shock. Overwatch had a 2019 championship, and right here, San Francisco folks came through and won. They beat the Vancouver something. I can't remember the fucking team name of them, but Food Watch is still going strong, man. That's some good shit. And the other one, real quickly, I'm going to catch up on some comics. Absolute Carnage is amazing, and House of X and Powers of X are fucking rocking it. Marvel's fucking back with some really good comics, and I got to give them props for that shit. And then I'm going to Tahoe this weekend, so it should be some-
It's not even snowing.
yeah, we're gonna celebrate a homie's birthday up there. So we're taking the whole family.
So,
Whose birthday?
I'll tell you off there.
Oh,
so,
okay, damn.
so you
Thought
talking
you were
about coke and strippers in Tahoe?
Of course, only the finest.
So then $2 strippers. Okay.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, take us on out, man.
So we are Black and Black times Infinity.
Infinity.
Check us out on the interwebs with @BThanBTI. That's BTHANBTI. You can check us out on Twitter, Instagram, on YouTube. We're Black and Black times Infinity. Every Wednesday night, 8:30 Pacific.
Got the new one.
We're on Spotify now.
Yes.
We're on Radio Republic. We're on Player FM, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, and then our official website,
We everywhere.
binheadproductions.com/BThanBTI. Oh, and then Twitch. We're on there as well.
Go watch Joker. Prove Stitch wrong.
Damn. What if you get proven wrong again?
Damn. So all it's got to beat is 80 million. That's nothing.
2019 just ain't your year, bruh.
Lava is hot.